Welcome to All Gen Gamers, a podcast for people in video games of all generations. Starring Pete Dorr, Happy Console Gamer, Gamester81, and Jason Heine.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is John, Gamester81. I'm one of your hosts of the All Gen Gamers podcast. This is episode 58. And I am joined here by Jason Heine, the EMU Review. Jason, what's going on, man?
What's up, guys?
We have Pete motherfucking Dorr. Pete in the house. What's going on?
Motherfucking right.
We have Johnny Millennium, Happy Console Gamer.
Yeah,
John?
and I'm not so happy because Jason lost our last podcast, and so I'm not happy about that.
I have news. We'll get to it.
I know.
Angry Console Gamer. I take that back.
Oh, I'm pissed.
Angry.
He's
Pissed off.
I'm so mad at Jason now. You know,
Just another goddamn day.
this is bullshit. We're gonna cancel a podcast. It's not gonna happen.
A lot of people were freaking out over it too. Like people PM me on my wall, where's episode 58?
Oh my goodness.
You know, just unbelievable. So
We'll get to
guys,
that, though.
Yeah.
Follow it. Yeah, we'll go on that. We have a special guest. I don't want to leave him hanging any longer than we have to. Bracey, what's going on? RetroSnow on YouTube. SnowCon 3. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, guys. Thanks again for having me on.
This is the second time, actually. Because
Yeah.
the first time something strange happened.
Well, let me just start off by saying we've been doing this show for over a year now, and every week we bend over backwards to bring you guys an episode every week. Some people don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Sometimes we talk after recording a show for like 15 minutes trying to figure out, when we're going to record next, trying to get, let alone the four of us, but our next guest lined up to record at the same time. It's a very big task. So we surprised ourselves, and especially big thank you to Jason for making this all happen, getting the episodes edited out every week. But last week, it's nobody's fault. It was just a technical glitch.
It was Jason's fault. It was a technical glitch that Jason caused.
Jason was recording, and the audio was recorded on his end and not on anybody else's end, and he's done tests and whatnot. But unfortunately, it was not savable. It was just a glitch with his recording software. So we lost the episode, and normally we probably would have tried to get something done and put out to you guys on put it out on the regular day we put it out. But we were recording on, what was it, Tuesday or Wednesday night or whatever it was?
Yeah,
Tuesday night. Yeah, so there was no way we were going to be able to get together and record again before then. So, yeah, we missed one.
Yep.
And it was 2.5 hours later that we realized.
And I don't want to say this, but it was a very good podcast. And it's gonna be hard because we're gonna try to reproduce it. I don't think we can ever reproduce it, but we're just gonna talk about some of the same kinds of subjects. And now we're a little bit more warmed up, so we can really get into some of the things that, like some of those rape simulators, Pete, we can talk about later.
I was going to say, for those of you guys listening, you missed out on a crazy, what was it, maybe 15, 20-minute discussion about rape games.
Oh, it was something else.
It was wonderful.
Pete, we'll talk about this later. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I think we went from PAX, where we talked about PAX, and we talked about...
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right. We talked all about that, too.
Rape games and...
John, why don't you talk about PAX and the party, your end, and then I'll talk about our end.
Yeah.
Wait. Before we get into that, though, we got to tell you guys, for John mentioned before, all the people that were complaining, where's the episode? Please follow us on Facebook if you have an account.
Oh my goodness.
Or even if you don't have an account, just get on Facebook and check, or go to our forums, which, you don't even have to be registered to see what's on the forums. Just go there and check there. So if something like this comes up in the future, you guys will know where to look, because apparently a lot of people aren't checking there because they didn't know where the episode was.
Yeah, I wanted to say a few things, and then we're going to put this whole thing to rest. It definitely was a glitch. I don't know what in the hell happened, but what that did allow me to do was I took this week and I planned out a backup system. So now I'm having this being recorded on a separate device in real time, so that I hope that this will never happen again. You guys know how technology and all this it's really finicky, and accidents can happen and glitches can happen, but hopefully it will never happen again. I have a backup system that is now currently running. And getting back to what Pete said there, I literally got probably close to 100 PMs through Facebook and YouTube and all these other places about the podcast. Oh man, I was getting hit up on Steam. I was just trying to play a game and people kept PMing me. Please.
Little do they know that they should be PMing me, because I'm the one that, Jason edits them, but I'm the one that I have to get off my lazy ass and actually post them on the website.
and I just want to say,
I probably shouldn't have said that, but
Oh, I'm glad you did.
You just opened Pandora's box, bro. You're gonna be
And you know that's the thing is I just want to say, please. I mean, you're listening to this podcast right now. Go follow us on Facebook or Twitter or be in the forums. Just please, you know, that's where you're gonna get the info. So excellent, thumbs up. We love you.
Be in the know for sure. Be in the know. Don't be left out.
It's half the battle.
And a lot of times we announce live podcasts too that we're gonna be recording live, and that's the way we communicate to our listeners as well. Hey, we're gonna be recording live. And that's one way of doing it. So follow us. All right. All right. Well, I guess before we get into packs real quick, Bracey, why don't you kind of explain to the listeners who you are and what you do, and for those who may not be familiar with your channel.
What, like there's people who aren't familiar with it? Come on now. I'm an internet sensation. No, in all seriousness, my name is Bracey. Go by also RetroSnow online. That's the name of the channel. If you just search for RetroSnow on YouTube, you'll pull it up. I basically just do a review channel. It's all kinds of reviews, any console generation really, but I mainly specialize in 8 to 16-bit era. That was my favorite era growing up, and brings back a lot of memories for me. So I try to just make some different kinds of reviews for games that always kind of stuck out to me as a kid, and things I don't really hear that many people talking about, or underappreciated games, things like that.
Like Last Battle.
Yeah, like Last Battle.
I love Last Battle. Love that game so much. But we talked about it in the last podcast. Well, the Lost podcast, we'll call it. But,
actually, you know what's funny about Last Battle? Now that you bring it up, the only reason I have a review of that game on my channel, I was actually sick. I had the flu when I did that one. That's why I'm not in the video for that one. Also, another reason why it sounds completely unscripted, I was actually just sitting on the couch playing it, and I was getting so pissed off at playing it. I was like, you know what, fuck this game. So, and I was recording it anyway. I record a lot of the time, even when I just play stuff for fun in case I decide to use it later. And I was like, this game is aggravating the hell out of me. So I started talking about it or whatever, and ended up throwing it on there. It wasn't a real review like I normally do, where I script them all out or whatever. But it's not a bad game. It's just incredibly frustrating, though. It is really funny. The English in it is just fantastic.
It is beyond reality. That stuff, I love that. It's funny. I didn't really realize it was even Fist of the North Star till like when I played that game was like 1989 and Christmas when I got it, and I was like, The Last Battle. I'm like, cool. And I remember my sister Christmas morning going, "Oh my God, look at the background," because there was parallax scrolling. You'd never seen that before in a video game.
Plus it has that awesome cover where he's just kicking that dude right in the face.
I love that stuff.
How could you not want to play it just by looking at the box,
Yeah, but I didn't realize it was Hakuto no Ken, Fist of the North Star. I had no idea till...
Uh-oh. Last episode we were talking about aliens and stuff too, about going over... Maybe they got Johnny this time.
Man, what's going on with the connection tonight? Would you want to call me back? I mean, like, do you want to hang up and recall us back? I don't know. So weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're all right.
I think we're okay. You sound fine now.
It just straight drops.
Yeah.
Stop all that. Stop all the downloading.
Stop all the downloading. But anyways, that's all I got to say about Last Battle. I do have a question for you, Bracey, and I've never asked this before. Why RetroSnow? Was there actually a reason for the name?
Yes, sort of. When I first started the show, I didn't know what I wanted to name it. I wanted to have something though, like, aside from just, my channel name and not having any sort of branding on it. I wanted to have some sort of branding on it, but everything I kept coming up with was taken. And I had to use my original YouTube username, which at the time was SnowCon3, which is a whole nother story. But I was thinking of what to name it, and I was like, retro this, like classic this, whatever.
Yeah.
And then everything I came up with was taken, so I just looked at my username and went, you know what? I'm just gonna say RetroSnow, whatever. It's part of my username anyway, and it rhymes. It's catchy or whatever. We'll just use that.
Yeah. It actually
so that's kind of how it came to be.
It's better than Retro Blow.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Although that still rhymes and it is catchy.
But it is taken. I looked.
Oh man, maybe it's the rape sims or something.
Yeah.
But so why don't we get into John? Take us into PAX. Tell us about fun evenings.
I don't know if you guys saw it or not. I posted my the Game Deals Party recap over on my channel. I don't know if you guys saw it or not yet. But it was a good time. So I mean, it was packed. Here's the deal about the Game Deals Party. There's so many people there, and it's like I don't know. Probably had been maybe 150 people in and out throughout the night.
Yeah.
And it's in a small room. It was so freaking hot. It was like a sauna in there. And it just was kind of uncomfortable, but it was cool hanging out. We had Stuttering Craig, Screw Tech, the whole gang came by. Awesome video games, Fraser, the whole crew, they came by, said hi. So it was cool. A lot of people were there hanging out. I think about like 10:30, maybe like 11 o'clock, the whole party got busted.
Yeah,
I think it was 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
They were coming up. They gave, I don't know what time they came up, but they gave a warning at, I don't know, first warning at like 10 o'clock or something. I have no idea.
That's why.
Go ahead, Pete.
I was going to say, maybe you were going to mention the same thing in the videos. You notice a lot of people keep telling people to be quiet, like, shh, that's because we were on warning.
There's one of Terrence at the very end. He's like, sneaks up behind people. He's like, shh, Terrence from charge back forward.
That's good.
Anyway, it's funny. He was at the end doing that, but it was a good time hanging out with people. So here's the deal. So the party was over and it's like 11 o'clock. Night's still kind of fairly young. And I'm like, what to do? And at this point, I was kind of starting to walk back to my car. And I don't know where you guys ended up going. I think you guys ended up like kind of going your own way.
We all went up to we scouted out the pool and the workout room.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's where the real fun was at, John.
Yeah.
So you guys like skinny dipped and shit, or what's going on there?
Yeah, we're all naked.
Completely naked.
I was giving Jason a back massage.
It was awesome.
I missed out on So I call Shady J from the Game Chasers. I call him up and I'm like, where you at, man? Because I know they were planning actually swinging by the Game Deals party eventually that night. And I just wanted to give him a heads up and let him know that, hey, the party's no longer going on. He's like, dude, I'm over at Pike Street Brewery. You have to swing by. And this is like, 4 or 5 blocks from where I'm at. So I'm with my brother, Gary, also known on the podcast. And we ended up walking down to Pike's Place Brewery. And it's actually turns out to be Game Chasers. Pat the NES Punk was there. Awesome Video Games were there. And James Rolfe, Angry Video Game Nerds, was there as well. And there's a bunch of us people. I mean, they were just chilling there. And this is probably like 11:30. Place closes at midnight. Okay, so they're like, what to do? So, but here's kind of a funny story. I get there and they're all drinking beer, obviously. And there's like a half pitcher of like this really strong ale shit there sitting on the table. And everyone's like, they're like, do you want a drink? I'm like, yeah, but there's no glasses, whatever. And I think it was Deacon from Awesome Video Games. He's like, dude, you got to just drink straight up from the pitcher. And like, for some reason, everyone heard that and everyone turned to me. And all of a sudden it turned into a drink motherfucker. So here everyone's like, drink motherfucker. So the spotlight's on me. And I hadn't been drinking much that night at all because I was actually planning on driving back. And I was just kind of like just hanging out. So I'm completely sober at this point. And here I am slamming down this pitcher of ale. And thank God, like back in college, I had a lot of practice at drinking beer and slamming down shit because I used to do those boat races where, I don't know if you guys know where that is, where you stand in line with like 5 other guys and you drink. I don't know if you've ever seen Beer Fest. Have you guys ever seen that movie?
Yeah, of course.
Where you drink like a beer and then you put it on your whatever. We used to do that in the line and we used to have big ass 32-ounce beers that we just slam down in like 2 seconds. I was gonna say deep throat it, but that kind of sounds wrong.
We're in college. You're a younger guy. Things happen.
You needed the money.
Yeah. So here I am doing a drink, motherfucker. James watching, everyone's watching, and this stuff is strong shit, man. And so at this point, it's like 11:45, 11:50. Everyone's out of beers. They're like, what do we do? So we contact Greg, my brother. He's like, he's from the area. So they're like asking, where do we go? So we found, I forget the name of the place. You guys remember the name of it? There's this Irish pub that was
called Kells.
Kells. Yeah, Kells. Yeah, there you go. So at this point, we're walking over there, and that's when I call Johnny. And I just kind of let him know where we're at. And they ended up meeting us. It was pretty cool. We actually hung out for a couple more hours, had some good brew. My brother kept buying rounds for everyone, which is pretty crazy.
Well yeah, I got to explain. It was funny because I get John's text, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going down there. And so I grabbed Kim and Brian from Game Deals. We grabbed a taxi, and boom, we're like driving in the middle of Seattle somewhere. And it's the place was really funny because I showed up and it's like some alley, and I'm like saying to the taxi guy, I'm like, "Is this the right way?" He's like, "Oh yes, just go around the corner." I'm like, "Okay,
like, are we gonna?
All right, I'll trust you. I won't get raped or anything." So we go around the corner. And there's this like kind of like a bar in the wall. It really seemed like that. And two big bouncers. I'm like, $5. I'm like, okay, here you go. And we go in, and it was so funny. It was so dark. I'll never forget that about this bar. And I walked around the corner, and I swear it was like all the who's who of YouTube. It was bizarre.
Wait, they actually made you pay?
Yeah.
Oh,
You didn't pay, Pete?
No, I just walk right in.
They probably thought you were a homeless guy or something. And this
He's
poor
not
child,
good, that's
they
hilarious.
need to drink.
Yeah, they're the cover. Angry Joe was there too. If you guys are familiar with his channel,
That's the thing.
he was cool.
I came in and there's this long table, and there's the Game Chasers, Pat, the NES Punk, awesome video games, all those guys, Kyle and Ben and Deacon, and awesome. It was Joe, Angry Joe was there, and then the Angry Video Game Nerd. And I walk in and everybody's like, Johnny, and I'm just like, I hadn't had a drink yet, so I was like kind of like pretty sober. Everybody else was having a lot of fun, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of weird, you know. It was strange because I've watched the Angry Video Game Nerd. I've watched his videos for so many years, and it's so funny just to be walking into such a casual drinking environment with a guy. So
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. The one thing I did is sat down, I ordered myself a beer, and the table was full of beers. Eh, John? Was that your brother?
Oh, yeah. That was my brother. He was buying rounds, man. He probably dropped easy over $100+ a night, easy on beer, you know.
I know the waitress came over to me and I'm like, I said, hey, I said, you see that guy in the corner there? And she's like, yeah. I said, send him a beer. I said, tell him it's from Johnny Millennium. And she's like, okay. And so she goes off and so she was pretty awesome. She goes over to James or whatever. And she's like, gets him this beer and she's like whispering like, oh, that's from the fucking Johnny Millennium over there. And he looks up and he's like, he gives me the Angry Video Game Nerd thumbs up. It's quite funny to see actually. So that was kind of a fun moment. And then we proceeded to get very drunk. Very drunk. Yeah.
you guys were
very hungover the
fucking
next day.
wasted.
What's that?
You guys were wasted.
We weren't wasted.
Yeah. I was pretty. I mean, I was 3 sheets to the wind for sure by the end of the night.
You
So
were.
it was-
I mean, I got a text from John. It was like, hey, come down to this bar, Kel's, whatever, Kilts, whatever it is. We're here. Everyone's here. So I'm hanging out with Pete, right? And so Pete and I are like, all right, well, let's go down. Let's go check it out. So we head down. Pete and I walk there because we're so gangster like that.
Oh, that's a
Stuck in
long way, eh? Was it?
Well, it wasn't
No.
too bad. And it was such a perfect night. I mean, it was
Oh
perfect
yeah,
day.
weather was beautiful.
Holding hands.
Yeah,
walking-
holding hands. We were skipping. It was awesome. So Pete and I show up, and John's bouncing off the walls. This guy's he's dumping beer on himself. He's on the table dancing. He's doing all kinds of shit. I couldn't believe it. People were throwing down like quarters and pennies for him to keep dancing. It was nuts.
We were playing a drinking game that was called Bunnies, though, which is kind of funny. It's very complicated. I mean, even sober, trying to explain how to play this game was Fraser. It was trying to explain it to us, and it was a lot of fun. It was just one of those drinking games where you add the rules as you go on. Like you can't swear or you can't point, you know. And then if you do that, you have to drink. So you get drunk and you just like you keep forgetting these rules, and it was good. It was good times, man. But it kind of like Johnny was saying, you kind of have to step back and like, holy shit. I'm like sitting across away from James, and like he's my idol when it comes to like making video games. You know, he was my inspiration. You know, as far as making games. So, but you know, James
making reviews.
Yeah, reviews. Yeah. Not making games themselves, but yeah, the game reviews. But you know, just talking to him, he's very down to earth. He is the complete opposite of his character on his show. He's nothing like he is. You know, he's very humble. He's very almost shy. Almost got that from him too. Very. I don't know. What'd you guys think of like when you talked to him? I know, Johnny, you had a chance to meet him for a little bit too.
It's funny, actually. When we were all walking back to Fraser's hotel. We were walking me and him were walking in the back, and we were both drunk. I just wanted that known, but yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff. But the thing I got from James is a super nice guy, but very, very humble, very, 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 very down to earth. Like it's really hard to describe. He's almost shy in a way, but I think even his own success. I think that's the only way I can describe it. But yeah, we talked about a few things I won't chat about because I was talking to him about making my movie and some of the problems I was having and stuff like that. So, but that's all I'll get into. But super nice guy. It's very cool to meet all those people. It was funny to meet Angry Joe too. It was cool to talk to him. He's very much like his character. He's very much like his character on this show.
Yeah, for sure. So it was cool. It was definitely a highlight of the PAX weekend for sure, for me at least.
Yeah.
And it went by super, super quick. It was like 2 a.m, like lickety split, and you're like, holy shit, Night's gone by really, really quick. So
yeah. No, it was a really good evening, and until I had to wake up the next day, and I didn't drink that much. I had about 5 pints, which was, I guess a lot for me. But I woke up the next morning, and I was just like, oh damn, I got to drive back to Vancouver, 2-hour drive. I'm like, okay, let's just. And the funny thing is that's what we said. I grabbed Rob, and I said, let's just go, and he's like, yep, let's go. And I grabbed Cameron, let's go. We didn't wait around. We left at like 12:30 on the Sunday. We're gone.
What was probably the highlight of that night too was looking at Pete, and he was sandwiched between some hot chicks that night.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that, Johnny? Turn her head. He was there in the corner, getting down, getting jiggy with it.
Yeah.
Remember that? Pete was wasted. He was the life of the party, man. All the chicks were.
Oh my god. The things when he got on the dance floor later on, it was. Oh my god. I didn't know he could move like that. Like,
no,
Pete, where did you learn to dance like that?
He puts Michael Jackson to shame, dude.
Yeah. Pete?
Dance Revolution.
A lot of rhythm games. A lot of rhythm. Yeah, but yeah, Pete, you were pretty wasted that night, eh?
Oh yeah, loading up on that water.
Yeah.
Pete could cut a rug.
Oh, that's. But great PAX weekend for sure.
Yeah.
Like just to clarify about the game deals party is that this year had reached maximum capacity. Every year, it's kind of like the place to go to at PAX. If you
was
do
uncomfortable.
It was okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna
very
get
hot. Yeah.
Every year, it's gotten bigger and bigger. This year, it exceeded that, and it was absolutely busting of the walls. There were so many people, and yeah, it was like 2 parlor suites together, and that was not enough. So. Next year they're doing something else, so a bigger venue for the game deals party. It's kind of grown into something like that. But yeah, it was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. Me and Kim sat in the hallway all night next to the elevators, and I just sat and drank my like diet 7-Up, whatever freaking crazy drink from the States they had. But yeah, it's really gotten huge, and next year it'll be all sorted out. So I've been talking to Brian about it. He knows. He's like, damn, but it got shut down too. It was a popular place to be. What can we say?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about, a party success, I mean, it was a success. They got shut the fuck down.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how much of a success it was. I mean, definitely. And one thing to close out the game deals party on my end, I mean, most of you have probably seen this now for a good week or so, but and it's on, like, I had like 5 cameras filming me, but I officially ate official Canadian poutine.
Oh yes.
Prepared by none other than Mr. Rob Man. And a lot of people don't know. They see the video, and again, I had a lot of people filming, so like it's all over the place. But on our All Gen Gamers YouTube pages, there's an official one on there. You can check that out. People don't see the trouble he went to make that happen. The film just it starts, and here he is making it. And he's pouring the gravy on, and I'm there, and everyone's there, and I didn't want to eat it in front of all those people. I was like, Rob, please, no, can we do this in the comforts of your suite? Can I just enjoy it there? He's like, nope, Jape, come on, we're going. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So anyway, he's there. He's telling everyone to shh. And so he's making this poutine for me, and I have it, and it's amazing, it's incredible, and I love it. I've been craving it ever since. So thanks, Rob. I really appreciate that. But I also wanted to mention that no one saw the trouble. This guy, it's crazy. Okay, so he brought all the stuff down. He brought the cheese curd. He brought the gravy, and then he had to go and rent a microwave from the hotel at a cost, right? He had to pay for that. And then so then security brought it up to his room, and he got that. Then he went downstairs to the restaurant and ordered French fries, got those, brought those back up, heated the gravy, and then brought it all into the game deals party. I mean, this guy, Rob, he went to so much trouble to make this happen. And I didn't actually expect that at all. I didn't even know this was going to happen, and I was blown away. I don't really know what to say. I was flattered that he did all that. It was awesome. I took it out. I shared it with everyone there, and then I set it down on the table for everyone to try. And I left. It was so hot, but from what I understand, the plate was fucking devoured. It was gone. All the poutine was just gone.
Hey, yeah. Jason, something that you didn't realize until now is that we all jerked off on it too before you.
Yeah,
I knew there was something strange. There was a whole bunch of your friggin' gamester pubes in there.
Jason, those weren't cheese curds.
Oh,
Okay. They
So
weren't.
basically, I had this and I didn't like it at all. I don't want
Yeah.
it ever again.
You said you've been craving it now. That can mean a lot of things, you know.
Yeah,
I'm craving it.
that's just
hey, Johnny.
Yo.
Johnny, as you
Yo.
say, Johnny. Hey, I got to ask you about the M-berry. This is what we took beforehand. What'd you think of it? Remember that shit?
Oh God, that's funny because we never mentioned this in the last.
We never
one.
mentioned it. Yeah.
You please tell about your brother in this because this,
Okay.
yeah, my
So there's
resilience not to do it at first.
There's this product called M-berry. It's the letter M and then berry. It's all one word. And they actually make this shit like 2 blocks from where Jason and I pretty much live. So it's pretty like our same zip code, pretty close. But I had never heard of it before. He's like, John, my brother, he's like, you got to try this shit. I'm like, what is this? Like, it's a tablet. It's like almost like a maroon colored tablet. And he's like, put this on your tongue, let it dissolve in your tongue. First thing I'm thinking about is, fuck no, I'm not putting this on my tongue. What the hell is this? This is like some kind of, am I gonna be tripping on this shit or what's going on? So he's like, no, trust me, you got to have it. And so what you do is you let it dissolve on your tongue, and it's hard to explain. You almost have to try it, but it fucks with your taste buds. So what it does for about 25 to 30 minutes, it enhances your sweet taste buds and like changes your like nasty taste buds that you don't like the taste of shit. But what's weird is it almost tastes like when you're dissolving on your tongue, it tastes like a sour raisin. But after that, it doesn't taste like anything. So here, my brother's like bringing fruit by. He's bringing like raw lemons. We're eating raw fucking lemons straight up, and it tastes like lemonade. It's crazy, you know. Strawberries were like the best strawberries I ever had, and we're trying. My brother, because this is before the whole game deals party. This is before the whole podcast that we recorded, and my brother brings a whole bunch of fruit by. I mean, cool. He like prepared for this shit, you know. Because it's fun to see people's reactions when they try this shit.
Oh yeah.
And first, Johnny is like all skeptic. He's like, "Oh hell no, I'm not putting this on." But he sees people's reactions. And Johnny, go! I want to hear your feedback on the whole thing.
Yeah, this is such a weird thing to do. We're in the game dealer's parlor suite or whatever. There's just about 4 of us in there, and Brian's wife, Terrence, yourself, and your brother, and they're put all this shit on their tongue, and they're eating. Okay, and your brother, as you said, brings all this like fruit, and I'm just like, okay, he's got a bunch of diced up fruit. This is kind of okay, and he's like, John, try this strawberry, and you try, and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is the best strawberry I've ever eaten. And I'm just sitting there kind of going, oh, come on. And then they're like, oh my God, try this. And they're like, it's the funniest thing to see a bunch of grown men going, oh, please try this orange. Oh, it's delicious.
It's like
Oh my
Orange
God.
Julius, dude. It was so good. The orange was like Orange Julius. So it was so fucking.
Yeah.
And the grapefruit, raw grapefruit. Who'd have thought raw grapefruit? You know, it was just weird.
So they're like, you got to try. And I'm like, after seeing these guys have orgasms over this shit, I'm like, okay, fine. And I did it. And then he's like, okay, have the strawberry. And I only when you taste it can you really understand. You're like, this is the best strawberry. And okay, just get this. I don't mind strawberries. I think they're quite good, but I've never had a strawberry that was just fucking good. It was just like melt in your mouth, the most sugariest, tastiest strawberry. But then here's a lemon. They give you a fucking lemon. You can't chew on a lemon. It's so bitter, right? Usually. You put in the lemon. I was eating this thing and it tasted delicious. And then a grape fucking fruit. I ate half a grapefruit like it was like an orange. It was the most delicious thing ever.
Wait, what is this stuff and where can you get it?
It's M-berry. Hold on. It's called, let me see if there's a website here.
Is it sold in stores or?
I don't know.
It's made down here. It's made in our zip code.
It's made in our zip code. Yeah. That's what, yeah.
How long does it last?
25 to 30 minutes.
Oh, okay, so not too long.
Not too long.
It's very cool.
Well, you know that fruit basket, John? You know that fruit basket he brought in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I jizzed in it.
Oh, did you?
That's why it tasted so sweet.
That's why it was so sweet.
Yep.
Like,
Okay, so
it's bitter, but today's good.
mberry.us is a website. mberry.us.
Wow.
We need to contact them. Just so
They have a whole
thank
bunch of
us.
random shit like mustard. They wanted you to try mustard, peppers. I mean, it's not just
Everything
fruit.
tastes like mustard. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, even beer cheeses. They have cheeses you can try, martinis. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different
I
things.
want a cotton candy one.
Yeah, but it was pretty wild. I mean, pineapple was like you put a pineapple in your mouth, and it was like someone taking raw sugar, and pouring it in your. What's crazy is there's no sugar on these things either. Like the whole tablet is sugar free. It's like it just really it's hard to explain. It's kind of fucked up.
Sounds like roofies.
That
And this
was
isn't going to screw up your taste buds like in the future if you use this shit.
No. It just gives you anal cancer. That's all. It's not.
They said that about energy drinks.
But I gotta say, and you gotta thank your brother for me, the cat killer, is that was such an entertaining afternoon. That was the weirdest thing I've ever done with a group of people, and it was very, very fun.
I'm pissed because I know, John, you came up to me with those, and
I offered it.
And I was about ready to eat poutine. I didn't want to fuck it up, and I was like, I can't let it. And then it got crazy, and I didn't try them. Do you have any left?
No, but I can order more. I was thinking about maybe just doing a YouTube video. It's so funny to see people's reaction. But no, I'll order some more.
Are there Berry reaction videos online on YouTube?
I don't know, but it'd be funny.
Let me search that shit right now.
If not, there's gonna be.
No, imagine if you started a crate, John. Imagine if you made the first Berry reaction video and it got like millions of hits.
Millions of hits. I think
you could start a craze.
I've never seen a few, but it's hard to. Here's the deal: you can't explain, like Johnny and I. We can't explain how good this shit is until you actually try it. It doesn't.
I was the biggest skeptic. I thought it was stupid, but
there are videos, a couple.
Nice.
Excellent.
There's this quote here. I can't believe I bit into a lemon. It tasted like candy. That's what one quote says on the website. It's funny.
Sure.
Nice.
It tastes like lemonade. It really was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, how about the event itself? PAX, as a whole.
Yeah.
Ooh, what a load of crap. No, I'm kidding.
I played, I don't think I mentioned this in our episode 57, but I played the Star Wars Connect game. And that was interesting. It was kind of broken, to be honest with you. The force was not strong with the Star Wars Connect. I played pod racing where you're actually racing a pod race.
Yeah.
And you have to stick your hands out straight in front of you. You have to turn. But like Pete had mentioned before with the Connect, you make an action and like a split second, 2 seconds later, it like reacts to you. It's so delayed. And especially in the tight tunnel turns and stuff, it just didn't react very well. So I hope they fix that problem.
There's a video of like girls drinking like pure lemon juice and shit.
He's still on this berry shit. Nice.
It's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Is there a lot of videos on that?
Not really, but they're out there.
But that was kind of my game. I wanted to wait in line for. I didn't wait in line for too many games, but that was one. And the line wasn't too long for that one. It wasn't too bad. They also had like a Disney Adventures game for the Connect. Did you guys play that?
I didn't even see it.
Yeah, I played that a little bit too, just kind of messing around with the Connect game.
Was there a line for that, John?
Not too bad. No, it wasn't too bad of a line.
Okay.
The one I played though, you're like Peter Pan and you're like flying in the sky, whatever. Your little avatar guy.
Which I do want to mention that Nyko Zoom thing for Connect is finally out. That supposedly works. IGN gave it a 10 out of 10.
Oh, really? Is that supposed to enhance?
In terms of that thing, making it so it's like 40% less space is needed to play the Connect game. So I'm almost tempted to rebuy the Connect now that the Gun Stringer is out. And that Rise of Nightmares game seems pretty interesting. But I don't know, like the Connect still, it's just not my thing, Until games start coming out that use like integrated Connect stuff, like the new Steel Battalion game that's going to use a controller and Connect. That's what I'm more into.
Yeah.
I forgot about Steel Battalion. Yeah.
Speaking of peripheral, what do you guys think of? Have you guys heard about this 3DS, this new analog thing?
I was going to bring that up too. Yeah.
What a weird ass fucking thing.
I haven't heard about this. What is it?
The 3DS gets a conjoined twin, basically.
You put on the back, and it's supposed to add another analog stick to the right. So your right thumb, you can move it around.
Is it an official like first party thing?
It is.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Huh.
It looks fucking ridiculous. Like when you see a picture, you're gonna be like, "That looks terrible." It's just like a piece of plastic sticking out the side of the 3DS, like in a cradle, with just another thumb pad. So like when you close the 3DS lid, there's still the joystick sticking out on the side. It's going to be supported by games like Kingdom Hearts and Monster Hunter and stuff like that in Japan at first. So it's going to, it'll be useful for sure. But I mean, come freaking on. This shit should have been in the system from the start.
Oh,
yeah, that's my thing. Why didn't they do this initially? Why did they have to pay extra to do it? Why didn't they just build this in the system initially if this was...
You know what it is? They probably had this plan to release it as, build it into another model of the 3DS, but it's too risky. They can't risk it. They have to release it as an add-on. Because if they released another iteration of the 3DS right now, you know what people would fucking say? They'd be pissed. So they got to release it now. I guess I don't know. It's weird. Like this came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
It's called the Nintendo 3DS slide pad.
Yeah, Jason, I just sent it. I sent you.
Yeah, I got it.
Link, and I'm going to
It's
send you.
actually-
Bracey.
$15. That's Japan.
How much?
Bracey, I'm sending it to you.
1,500 yen. So $15.
$30.
Is it $30? I thought
Well,
the yen
yeah,
was.
you're right. It's more like $20 or something like that.
Hey, let's say like say 15.
No, the conversion rate right now, no, it's pretty freaking high.
Is it high?
I'm telling you. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
All right. So anyway,
if you
so
buy something from Japan, it's going to be
$20.
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, for
It'd
an
be
add-on.
about 18 and change or whatever,
Yeah.
roughly.
Bracey, you see that link I sent you?
Well, just from the pictures, the way it looks like it makes it more comfortable to hold. But I mean, I don't know. It's like just this weird growth.
What's on the back there? See the back
Is it a
picture?
button or
Is that a button? Yeah, what is that? Another analog stick?
I have no idea.
It
Are they
might
trying to-
be, I'm gonna wait. If you're seeing a button on the back, because I haven't looked, it might be like the right trigger, possibly.
No, Pete,
With
I'm
your
going to
hand.
send it to you.
Yeah, no, 'cause
No,
there's two triggers aside on this thing now.
Yeah, it adds a much needed right analog circle pad to the system, plus left 2 and right 2 shoulder buttons.
Yeah.
There you go. Will require one AAA battery to operate.
Oh,
was
so
gonna
they're
say, yeah,
giving
but-
you 2 extra shoulder buttons too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, now he's interested.
Well, no, I still think the thing looks ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm really sad that they kind of come up with this idea afterwards. It's kind of like, come on, why didn't you come up with it to begin with? But yeah, they're trying to take it away from the 3D aspect. That's what I hear. But
They're trying to take it away from the.
What do you mean?
3D.
They're trying to get away from the whole 3D?
okay. What's happened is the 3D has not gone over well. That's the reality of it. It's not, and the system is not selling well. That's another reality. So what I was hearing is that Nintendo was changing the design and basically taking away from the 3D aspects to kind of say, no, don't worry about the 3D, but check out this, it's got dual analogs and, we're going to create different types of games and all that. They just they know they can't sell on the 3D alone anymore because that hasn't worked for them. Do you see what I'm saying? So they're trying to take it in different directions away from the 3D.
I just want to
What is-
mention.
Go ahead, Pete.
I'm not sure if we mentioned this on another show. I don't think so. I think we mentioned it on the last one, but one of the biggest disappointments for me is that Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor Overclock game. There's like no 3D in this game. Remember, Johnny? We were all hyped up. We're like, oh man, an RPG on the 3DS, and I was
3D.
looking forward to the battles in 3D. There ain't no goddamn 3D. Like, I've only played, granted, like a half an hour of this game. Only the opening's been in 3D so far. The battles take place on the bottom screen. Like, what the
Unbelievable.
fuck? Come
Unbelievable.
on.
I remember,
Really?
you know what's funny? I was thinking about that today. My Nintendo Power arrived, and I don't know, I was flipping through it, and I remember back to that. I'm like, oh, yeah, RPG. I'm like, oh, god damn it, yeah. I was really disappointed in that. That sucks. I was looking forward to that game, too, because of that. But, oh, well.
Yeah, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Back to now. When are the free games, downloadable games, supposed to be available? Aren't they supposed to be this month? Or are they already out?
The NES games came out, and then the Game Boy Advance games are going to be released like in December, end of the year or something like
How
that.
many of them was it? Was it 20 or something like that?
20, I think, or 10. I could be wrong. I think it was like 10 NES and then 10 Game Boy Advance or something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. That sounds right.
I haven't even gone and downloaded the NES games, honestly. Like,
What are the games, Pete?
I don't know the list offhand, but they're pretty decent titles. Like, you get Zelda. I know that's one of the ones for sure. And that's about all I know 100%. Because I haven't looked into it. I wasn't like jumping off my seat like, oh yeah, I can't wait to download this shit. Because most of them I already have and I've already played. So I'm not like jumping out of my chair to download these onto my 3DS. The Game Boy Advance ones, though, that's another story. I'm actually quite interested to get those on
And
there.
those are coming out when?
Game Boy Advance ones are coming out end of the year sometime, I think.
Okay. But they haven't given specific dates yet.
December, so there might be a specific date. I'm almost certain it's in December.
So, Pete, being that you've had your 3DS for a while, do you actively still play with the 3D on, or is the gimmick kind of worn off on you at this point?
The question should be, do I still actively play with my 3DS? That should be the question. Because
When
honestly,
you do,
like,
when you do,
no, when I do, I still blast that 3D because I bought it for that gimmick. It's not even a gimmick. Like, it works. and it looks great. But if I'm going to be playing my games, I'm playing them in 3D. I'm not putting them in 2D. I know, Johnny, you turn the 3D down like on Zelda.
You know what? No, I turn it down, then I turn it back up, and I turn it down, and I turn it back up. I have that kind of relationship with the 3D.
I just stick it on maximum, and you know, the 3DS. I just haven't been playing it too much lately. You know, I was caught up in the hype, and it was a lot of fun getting caught up in the hype of the 3DS. You know, it's been a long time since we had a new system. I picked up a lot of games for it. But then when the hype started dying down and you started realizing that there's really no good games being released for this damn thing, you know, there were good games, like mediocre games, but nothing like, wow, you know, I'm so happy I bought this thing. There was Zelda, which I still have not finished. I haven't played that in weeks. And then Star Fox just came out. But I didn't pick up Star Fox yet because I made that video on YouTube of like all the fucking games I want this year. And there are just too many games coming out. I'm going to have to wait for these games to drop in price. There's going to be some I'm not going to be able to get until next year. You know, I got to plan ahead and be pretty picky with what I buy.
Yeah. You know, at PAX, I was able to play the 3DS a little bit. I played 2 games that aren't out yet. I played the new Super Mario Brothers 3D, and that was different than I was expecting. I was expecting more of a platformer, and it's not.
Wait, what the hell is it?
Yeah, what the hell is it? I was about to say.
Well, it's more like I was expecting more of a side scroller left to right, kind of like the new Super Mario Brothers, but it's more like open world kind of. It's almost a mix between.
Thank God, because when I watched the trailer, I was like, this looks kind of. It looked 3D, but still side scrolling. Like it didn't look like I was hoping for like Super Mario 64, but it's more like it's sort of on rails, but free roaming. You're saying it's like 64?
Yeah, it's like 64.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. And then I played the Mario Kart as well. And I was kind of disappointed in the 3D in that.
Really?
It wasn't really pop out 3D. Yeah. It was very weak, actually. I remember my first impression was like, is the 3D even on? So it was your typical Mario Kart game, though. I know Johnny is a big fan of Mario Kart games, you know, from past podcasts. He loves them. Right, Johnny?
Loves every one of them.
He's busy playing his Mario Kart. I think he left to play.
Love him so much.
He loves him so much.
He doesn't even want to say it.
He's setting up all his Mario Kart games on the table right now for his next episode.
I'm actually doing that right now. What are you saying? I'm a big fan of Mario Kart.
Yeah, I remember a couple episodes ago you said how much of a fan you are of the series.
Oh, I think like I liked it, but when we got into the 20th version of it, I was like, okay, like we need more. Like that was my only. Like, do I like Mario Kart? Of course I do. I love it. I play on the Super Nintendo.
But Johnny, here's the deal. You can make the same argument about Final Fantasy.
I was going to say Dragon Quest.
But the difference there is it's a different game every time.
That's true. That's true.
That's the thing. It's different every time. Where I don't, but you know, I don't hold it against Nintendo. This is money for them, and everybody forgets that they don't make games for magic and love of pure Nintendo-ness.
But
you know what I mean?
I want to be the devil's advocate here. Every Mario Kart game is different.
Yeah,
just that the mechanics are the same, but it isn't the same true for the most part of Dragon Quest, where the games are different.
I know exactly. It's the same themes and ideas that you're racing around a car, on a car around tracks.
Yeah, you can only do so much to change it up a little bit every time. I mean, different tracks and stuff, but
for sure.
Weapons.
But I think when I saw the 3DS version, I was like, oh, okay, it's just kind of like, you know, I don't know, just like the other ones. I don't know. It didn't seem different enough. It didn't seem like way better graphics or something like that. It's the same game. If you like that game, the DS game, you're gonna like the 3DS game. Yeah, I like the DS game. I love that one, and I thought that was everything I needed in a Mario Kart. That's why I was like, oh, do we need another one? I guess we do.
We do.
We do. Yeah.
Man, I haven't even played a Mario Kart game since the 64 version.
Oh wow,
that's a good one.
You're not missing out on too much. Yeah, you know.
No.
Double Dash, bah. You know,
I think I own Double Dash. I just don't think I've really played it.
I know you guys bash on that, but I didn't mind Double Dash too much. Like it's one where you have 2 characters and you can change, right? Yeah, it's okay. I definitely think
least favorite in the series for me, actually.
I'd say Super Nintendo one. Super Mario Kart's my favorite, just for nostalgic reasons. I like that a lot. Yeah. And then the 64 one is really good too.
I'm looking it up here. There's actually been arguably 9 games. So see the Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, and Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Super Circuit, I guess Game Boy Advance, Mario Kart Double Dash, obviously on the GameCube, Mario Kart DS, Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart GP Arcade, and GP Arcade 2.
Oh, well, yeah.
You got to count them because they were cool.
You know what I'd much rather have over Mario Kart that would actually maybe convince me to buy another 3DS would be an update to F-Zero.
Oh, hell yeah.
I love F-Zero. Yeah, I mean,
I would much rather have an F-Zero game than a Mario Kart game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
How about Diddy Kong Racing? Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah, I agree with that totally. Yeah, Diddy
that'd be
Kong
great.
Racing
Wave
was
Race.
super underrated.
Wave Race.
Wave
Jesus
Race.
Christ.
I
Yeah,
love
I'm a huge Wave Race.
How about Hydro Thunder?
Although I-
Shit, throw it out.
No,
Jason's
it's
everywhere.
okay.
Pete, it was so funny. I remember I got Wave Race on the GameCube. It was like a launch game, and I remember just sitting around all day, just going around and around, doing my own
Yes,
thing.
looking at the water.
Oh, I
The
know. I love
and,
that.
and the funny thing is, I just booted that game up like a couple of weeks ago. I was playing some GameCube racers, and I'm looking at the water, and I'm like, wow. I was so easily impressed back then because the water now it's like maybe because I'm playing on an HD TV, but it didn't look that great. I'm like, I used to be super impressed by the water graphics in that game.
I was so into the physics of it. I love
The loading screen. People might remember the loading screen was like a clear little stone that you like moved around and the water rippled around it. I thought that was like the coolest thing ever, and I'm like, I look at it now and I'm like, wow, that's I was
the GameCube. You know, a lot of people bash on the GameCube, but I love the.
Oh man, he must be playing Wave Race. You're so excited.
He's swimming.
he decided to jump in the water and
Fucking worst connection ever, but it's funny. No, I was just gonna say is that everybody bashes the GameCube launch, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so magical.
one of the best launches.
I thought it was good. Yeah,
For sure.
you know, Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin.
Luigi's Mansion was the first game when I got my GameCube. It was like right around my birthday, I think, and I bought a couple of games, and I was allowed to have one, and the other ones had to wait. So I picked Luigi's Mansion as my first game, and that was unbelievable. You know, it was a very short game, so picking that as my first wasn't the wisest choice because then I had nothing left to play really when I beat it. But that game, along with Wave Race and Star Wars Rogue Squadron, was it Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron? I forget what it is.
yeah, Rogue Squadron's a good one.
Squadron.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was that a launch title? Really? I forgot that was a launch title.
Yep.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was really good.
God,
There's, what,
there
two of them or
really
three of them?
was an amazing launch lineup, I thought.
Yeah.
Fuck are we gonna talk about? I have I got a list of a bunch of things I wanted to talk to you guys about.
How about rape games, Pete?
Oh yeah, rape games. That's
Oh, are we gonna go back into that?
we are
I have no
definitely
objection.
gonna go back
no objection
into that.
whatsoever.
We're getting into it.
Pete, you've been playing a lot of rape date simulators. We want to know what's the deal with that.
Well, how did we even get on this subject last time? I don't
Tell
even
that
know.
story again. It was about some guy sending you a PSP
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Remember? And yeah,
I think we were talking about stuff we'd received from people and whatnot, and thanking them. And someone recently sent me a package with some games in it, and they wish to remain anonymous. I'm guessing for good reason. One of the games inside, it's one of those games from Japan where it's just like Japanese girls in bikinis and shit on the cover. And I'm looking at the back of the
I
game.
like it already.
And I'm trying to figure out what the hell you do in this game. And it appears like it's a rock, paper, scissors kind of game. It might be like a striptease game. I have no idea. I haven't played it yet. I told you guys I was going to play it, but I haven't played it yet.
I don't even believe that for a second. I mean, we talked
You
about
know
this a
he's
week
been
ago,
playing
and
that
you
shit
mean to
all
tell
night.
me that you haven't even played that yet?
I'm on eBay
Nope.
right now.
The battery on my PSP is dead, so...
That's a game worth charging it up for, Pete. Come
No,
on.
Pete, I'm sorry. What system was this for, Pete?
PSP.
PSP. So it's handheld.
Yeah.
So,
Literally.
so you can play with one hand, and you have the other hand available to do whatever you want with it. Right? There you go. Perfect, Pete. So
Yeah, it's fun.
what's the name of the title?
I don't know. It's all in Japanese.
Tentacle porn rape X.
Champion edition.
Oh
Yeah,
my
champion
God.
edition. Yeah, that's,
I can't believe someone sent that to you, Pete.
I'm just
hilarious.
wondering where the hell they got it from.
fuck. Why
It
are they
could be
sending
rare.
me
Is
this
it rare?
shit?
It's probably pretty rare. Is
I
it
never
pretty
get
rare?
cool games like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's given me something to shoot for as a YouTuber, becoming famous enough to get rape games in the mail.
I know. I'm jealous.
That's my goal from here on out.
No.
There's a certain status level, but when you hit it, man, you really hit it.
Please, anybody out there who's rape, tentacle porn, video games, send them my way. Make me feel famous, please.
Just no videos, please. That's fucked up.
Yeah, no videos. Keep them concealed in a brown paper bag when you send them. Those games are hugely popular in Japan.
That's so funny.
They're hugely popular. You know, we were talking about that. Yeah, that's some of the possible. Weren't some people fucking with the Kinect in Japan, or was it over here? Was it?
Trying to make a sex game. No, John, you were mentioning the Lost episode that you mentioned you had a friend who was into that shit and
okay,
hugely.
Yeah. There's a guy in Vancouver, and I won't say anything. He's kind of known as the King of Smut 1990. I think he calls himself the King of Smut 99 or something. But
I won't mention.
He's not on YouTube, by the way. He's not on YouTube. This is just his old email address. But this guy was one of the godfathers of anime in Vancouver and in Canada, bringing anime over to this country and translating it. Nobody actually did that. We're talking in the 80s here, the late 80s. But the one thing that it was fascinating to me, because this guy owned a store. And so I'd go there and I'd pick out the latest animes and stuff like that. And he would go to conventions all over the world, like everywhere. And he would just buy hentai. He would just buy hentai stuff. Like, it didn't matter if it was figures, books. He was really into the books. But anything he could get his hands on, no pun intended, he loved it. And he didn't just love it. Like, I would say that this guy has probably the biggest hentai collection in Canada. And the reason why I know that is I actually went over to get a soundtrack, because he also had a lot of video game soundtracks, really rare stuff. And I went to get the War Song soundtrack, for anybody who knows that, Langrisser. It's like a strategy RPG in Japan. And I went to get the War Song soundtrack off him, and we were digging around in these boxes of CDs. I mean, his collection was, is incredible. And but there's like walls and walls. His entire house was just like covered in fucking layered in hentai. It was incredible. Oh, I love the sound effect. But he was so passionate about it. And I was always thinking it was so funny because he was so nonchalant about it. I'd go in the store, there'd be tons of people in the store, and he'd be like, hey, check out all the smut I got. Because he always referred to it as smut. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, he was really happy about it. He made you feel comfortable about hentai. You know,
you have to respect that, though. I mean, somebody who kind of defies the stereotypical reaction to it and is just completely comfortable with that. You know what I mean? Like, I respect that, man. Good for him. He knows what he wants and he gets it.
That's the thing. Like, hentai to me is like, it's cartoon porn. It's funny to me, if anything. But he was dead serious about it. And exactly, Bracey. He was so passionate about it that you kind of you respected him about it. You're like, hey, this is his thing. And it was, the long story short, he's got married, he's had a kid now. I've heard rumblings from some friends of mine in common that the hentai collection is slowly being shot on eBay and to other locations, selling it all off.
He might send it to Pete. Actually, Pete, you want to give him your address?
He's the anonymous guy who sent it to you.
No.
I think Johnny should go get it. That way he could be the #1 hentai guy in Canada.
Yeah, I'd love that title. That'd be so funny, because I'm like the guy who doesn't want to aspire to be into hentai. I just happen to get it all. I'm saying this pile of hentai. I have all these creepy nerds in the middle of the night, trying to claw into my house.
Aren't the breasts in hentai just totally disproportional to everything else?
I just found the back of the box. I found the back of the box. Hold on. I'll send you guys the image.
I thought that was pretty normal. I didn't think there was anything abnormal about it.
And here's the screens in the game. Oh.
John, I just thought that women in reality just had small breasts. That's all I thought.
Okay.
They have something to aspire to.
According to NCSX.com, it's called English Cram School. All right, here we
That's excellent.
English Clam School.
Cram.
Oh, you the English Clam School?
I thought you said clam. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Cram, CRAM.
Cram is more
fun. That's excellent, man.
Clam.
Oh my god. I'm on eBay.
I don't think I have
now.
Bracey. Hold on, let me see if I can send it to Bracey.
Is that shit worth a lot or what? Is it a rare game?
I have no idea.
Oh, I've seen this, dude. I've seen this before.
Wait a sec. Wait, something needs to be clarified. I thought this was anime porn, but it's actually real girl porn.
Oh yeah.
Dude, why have you not played this game?
Oh Jesus Christ!
know.
So it's not a game. It's just real. It's real porn.
Yeah.
Can one of you send this to Bracey? Because I can't.
Yeah,
Sure.
I got you.
Okay,
I got you back.
Jesus.
Oh wow.
I'd be on my
you gotta play
PSP.
this
I'd be on my
fucking game.
PSP every day.
Dude, my battery would be dying.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'd have to recharge this shit 3 or 4 times a day. You
that
hear me,
thing
bro?
would stay plugged in.
This is
Okay, where you
funny.
at, Bracey?
English cram school. That's fucking weird.
Yeah,
I'm
that
searching
is.
that right
That
now. Hold on.
is.
Oh, here we go. All right.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
even see the chat. I upgraded
I
my
got
version of Skype. I'm
Bracey,
trying to
just go to Google Images and
finished
type in PSP English Cram School, and you'll see.
Yeah, that's something I definitely want in my search history.
Not
Yeah, your
not
girlfriend would
clam.
be like,
It's cram, not clam. Just so you know.
I
All
think
right, what was
clam
it?
would have been more fitting.
English Cram School.
Yeah.
All right. Oh,
It's
it
hot.
popped right up in suggestions. English Cram School PSP.
There you go.
All right.
Dude.
It's a real-
Yeah, it
Here.
says 2005 there on the back of the box.
So you play rock, paper, scissors to get her naked. That's like naked strip rock, paper, scissors essentially, or what?
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
if you lose, you have to get naked.
Nice. Well, I always play naked anyway, Johnny, so.
Well, you see, you beat the
Fitting.
game then.
Real fitting.
You've
Yeah.
lost the game before you even played it. Then.
She's kind of
I
hot.
think we need to see a video walkthrough, to be honest
we
with
need
you.
we need a walkthrough, Pete. You gotta put this shit out.
Yeah.
Do a goddamn review of the game.
Yeah, I'm
people wanna
sure that'll
see
go
that.
over well.
Yeah.
So
It will go over
isn't
well.
Pete, the PSP is not region locked then, huh?
No.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep. Nice.
Wow.
Well,
I know I'm ordering soon.
I know. I'm all
wait.
hot and bothered
Oh
over
my
here.
god, it's up here. There's actually there's a trailer of it. I'm gonna watch it. It's just
Oh, God.
Are you serious?
Is
That's
this
not
all the
true.
same chick or the?
it's somebody playing it. Oh, it's so stupid looking. You have to play this, Pete.
Pete, how have you not played this game? I'm really disappointed in you.
I
sir.
would have popped.
This,
that
this is
thing.
like it's like made with balloons, the Japanese version.
It is totally.
Tentacle porn.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I want
Oh.
someone to translate the back of this box and put it on our forums. I want to see what that says in English. It'd be funny.
Big boobies.
I can get that done. Hold on. I can do that for you right now.
Big
Really?
boobies.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull it back up.
Can I just say that this video, English Cram School on the PSP on YouTube, has got 96,000 views.
Pete, you go viral on that shit, dude.
You gotta start a brand new channel, Pete's Hentai Room or something. That'd be awesome.
Or
Yeah,
just
right.
Pete's Cram School.
There you go.
There you go.
Raven, come here. I need you to translate something for me live.
I love how
nice.
this has stumped the all gen gamers. We can't get enough of this.
What are you translating? What's you translating?
The back of the box.
That's awesome.
Rape simulator for all
What's that?
ages.
What's that top line say? It says.
Oh, okay, fine. I'm waiting for this gentleman, maybe.
It says. Well, all right. The first line says, "Waiting for this gentleman."
That's me. That's me. That's me they're talking about.
Johnny's head right there. Hey.
I don't know. It's like a sex ad, isn't it?
No, it's a PSP game.
It's kind of like.
It's English Cram School.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just a straight up rock paper scissors porno thing.
It's a game
Yeah.
we've been dreaming about since we were young boys.
I love the picture at the very bottom. Look at the 3 girls there, then an arrow, and you play a game, and then
And then they get naked.
they're naked. Oh my god. That's epic.
I thought this was a rape game, Pete.
Yeah, I was kind of excited for the idea that it was a rape sim, and now
Yeah.
a little bummed out.
The pink line says, "These cute teachers are waiting for you."
Oh, they're
Okay, did
teachers.
you hear that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we've been naughty boys apparently.
Yeah.
They
Teach me something.
teach us a lesson.
So it's not students. You're actually, you're making the teachers get naked. That's awesome.
No, but
Hot for a teacher.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're the teacher.
Oh yeah.
Teach me something.
Well, you don't have a sound effect for rock paper scissors.
I'm sure Jason could come up with something.
Yeah, it's called.
Ooh. I haven't heard that in a while.
This one says lesson, and that says test, and then this is like test clear.
Oh, okay. So it says lesson, test, and then test clear. Okay.
Okay.
I guess you get a special reward.
You get a special reward when you pass the test.
This game actually sounds pretty fun.
It does.
It does.
You know what I mean?
Is it multiplayer? I want to know if it's multiplayer.
Is it multiplayer?
No.
Tell me there's some online multiplayer here.
Some online,
They actually charged 3,900 or 4,000 yen for this game.
Yeah.
which is how much is that in US dollars?
About $44.
Oh wow.
Something like that. So it's pretty expensive.
Jesus.
Yeah. There's a lot of pervs out there.
Whoa, whoa. This game is made by Success. Hold on, let me look them up.
It's in widescreen.
Success. I've played a game by Success before.
I bet.
Oh, okay. So these three sexy idols, three chicks right there, are they will be your English teacher, I guess.
Nice.
Nice. I need to know more English.
Me no speaker.
Me no speak.
Well,
So that's essentially it then. You just make the teachers get naked and
Names, let's see.
they have their
Success is a Japanese game developer and publisher based in Tokyo, founded in. They're best known for their Cotton series of shooter games, Zookeeper, and
Really?
others. Their most recently published titles include Metal Saga for PS2 and Go-Go Making for Wii. So yeah, this
Cram's cool.
Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance on the PC.
and then we're gonna go left field.
Of course, they made the Darkspire.
Hey guys, it says here in the synopsis in the bottom there, it says you can actually learn to speak English too while playing this game.
Oh, so wow.
So
Wow,
that's right.
awesome.
They
English,
made
by the way.
Darkspire. Now I've really got to play it. This
Yeah,
game's
you
gotta
do.
be decent.
Shit, live stream that or something.
Please.
Please, Pete.
I'd be in line for that
Twitch
shit.
TV. Twitch
Yeah,
TV.
I'd love to see the chat room on that.
I know, right?
Wow, that game looks fantastic.
Well, I know the picture for the podcast now.
Oh, guess what else they made, Bracey?
Huh.
Raiden Fighters Aces.
Oh, I just
Oh,
ordered
wow.
that game.
So this is it? Let me get this.
shit.
This is rock, paper, scissors, right? Because
Yeah.
I can supply the rock.
I'm just mesmerized by this game. I'm going to be perfectly
I know.
honest.
Yeah, I gotta close my browser because I can't
Yeah, me
concentrate.
too.
Okay, gotta close it. It's official. Okay, done.
The girlfriend walks in and she's like, Jason, what are you up to?
But like, it's an awesome PSP porn.
Yeah, while I have mine over here actually translating the back of the box.
Yeah.
So what
That's
else,
awesome.
guys? Hey, so PAX was great. It was overwhelming. I thought there was a lot to do. I played
Yeah, it was,
Battlefield 3 co-op. That was fun.
Yeah. How was that? How was
yeah,
that?
it was good. I waited about, I don't know, it was about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I wouldn't have waited any longer for that.
No, that's something else I want to bring up. Is this was funny? Is I'm walking around.
Hey.
What?
I thought I was talking. God damn it.
No. This is not your time to talk.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm walking around. So I'm walking. This is Jason's embarrassed about the story or something. I'm walking around PAX. I lost everybody. I'm just walking by myself with the camera, and all of a sudden I see the Battlefield
Oh, God.
display. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, wait a second. I got the funniest feeling. Like Jason's disappeared. Honestly, I'm like, I bet. And I look over and there's this huge lineup to play the game, and I see this little head. And I'm like, I pull out the camera and I start fucking kind of booting it. Because I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to catch his reaction. He's not going to know I'm here. And I get right behind him. I got the camera on. I'm like, hey, there you are. And you're like, hey, how you doing? And it's really awesome. I'm actually going to put that video up on the All Gen Gamers page because I totally snuck up on him. And he's
Oh my
like,
God.
oh, nothing.
All I was thinking are, what are the fucking odds for him to be here filming
at that
me?
time.
At that time, yeah. I mean, I could
So
have been anywhere.
stereotypical Jason. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like, no, I'm waiting for the Skyrim demo. No, I'm kidding you. It's
the dragons, they look great. I was waiting for those.
Oh, I love the dragon games and oh, you're waiting in line for the Lord of the Rings game. Yeah, that's what
I was, yes, I was. But yeah, no, I waited in line to play that. I heard that they were doing co-op on PS3, and the alpha was not co-op, but team deathmatch, or it was Rush rather. Actually, it was Rush. So I was interested to see what that was all about. So I waited in line to do that. I also heard that they were making custom Battlefield 3 dog tags they were giving away to players who waited in line and played the game. So I if anything, I was really interested in just the merch that they were giving away. So waited in line about 30 minutes and played it for a little while, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. It appears to be only 2-player co-op, which is fine. I kind of wish it was like a full squad of 4 people, but we'll take 2. So I got my dog tags. It's cool. It says my name on it. It has Battlefield 3. Pretty neat. My girlfriend
cool.
was there, so she got a set. So I have one that's still sealed, and I have one that has my name on it. So pretty cool merch that I was excited to get. So that was about the only thing I waited in line for. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I felt like I didn't want to spend my time waiting in line to play games that I knew I was going to play anyway, Like, I walked right up and played Need for Speed The Run. There was no line for that. I played that. I saw Counter-Strike, Global Offense, Counter-Strike Go. I didn't wait in line for that, but I walked right up and stood right behind the monitors, got some good footage of that. It looks like a cool game. Nothing groundbreaking. Didn't want to wait to play that. There was a few others that I can't remember. It was just so overwhelming. There was Resistance 3. I didn't get a chance to play that. That looked awesome. Did you guys play that?
No.
I didn't really plan on buying it this year anyway.
Oh,
Hey, Jason, what did you think of that Need for Speed game?
I liked it, but I thought it was very similar.
I heard it's very different. That's what I keep hearing from people, that it's really different.
Okay, well, that's interesting because I got a totally different impression then. See, I recently bought the Hot Pursuit, the recent Hot Pursuit, which is a great game, and I really enjoy it. What I like about the Run is that it has this storyline that is just continuous, okay, where it doesn't break down like, let's do a race here. Okay, you finished that, you got first, good, you can move on. Let's go do another race. Okay, good, you finished that, you got first, let's move on. And I like that this is just a constant, run across the United States, as they're putting it. I don't know much about the little quick time events in between. Those seem kind of interesting. The demos didn't have any of that in there. It was just one race, just a playthrough there. But I felt like it was very similar to Hot Pursuit in the way it looks. It uses the same. Actually, no. Hot Pursuit does not use Frostbite 2? It does not.
Isn't Hot Pursuit the one that's developed by Criterion? The guys behind Burnout?
I don't know if it is. I'd have to look. It wouldn't surprise me. No, EA did Hot Pursuit. Did they do?
Oh no, I mean they published.
Did they do it in conjunction with?
Well, EA even publishes the Burnout games too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the developer. I know there was one of the newer Need for Speed games was developed by Criterion. I think it's Hot Pursuit too, because that was the one that was supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I mean that's the most recent one, so it had to have been. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. You can only get so much of an impression playing it there. Yeah, but
so they didn't. Did they show any of the whole get out of the car?
No.
Walk gameplay mechanic? No,
not at all. It was just a solid. It was just a solid race on a track. Yeah, it just took forever to load, and then it set you down, and you just raced for a little bit, and then that was it. The race is over. So, but yeah, it looks cool. I mean, I was interested before I played it, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, am I really interested in it still? Because I mean, it's kind of like. I felt like it was really similar to Hot Pursuit. So I don't know. I'm going to wait till it gets closer and we'll see. I don't think it's going to be a day one for me where I originally thought it would be, but I don't think it's, I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with the Frostbite 2 engine with it. That's what I'm really interested in. So other than that.
Yeah, I'm always up for a new racing game. So I always try to keep my eyes open. That was one that was, that kind of intrigued me a little bit. Well, just because I heard they were kind of implementing some different kind of gameplay mechanics into it.
Yeah, well, I mean, do you have the last Hot Pursuit?
I don't actually. That's one of the only ones I was missing.
Well, then absolutely get the Run. Absolutely get it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you to skip Hot Pursuit, but I mean, if it's 2 completely different styles of gameplay, which I think they are, the only thing they have in common is that they're racing, on a street.
Yeah.
But if it's 2 completely different gameplay styles, then get them both. But definitely pick up the Run. Then I would.
Yeah, we'll do.
Awkwardness. I love it.
I'd love to watch a little hentai right now.
I know.
I am watching hentai right now. That's why I'm not talking.
Yeah.
I'm a little busy, guys.
I'm actually sitting here playing
That's
a
why
game.
I keep getting dropped tonight. I keep streaming all this hentai. And
So,
How about games we've been playing?
sure, go for it. Start off.
Well, I've been playing a whole hell lot of Dead Island. You guys picked that
Really?
up?
Yes, I
I
do.
No,
really
it's been
want
sold
to.
out,
How is
man.
it?
Yeah. It's,
Yeah, Dead Island's been selling like crazy.
It
Yeah,
really
it's been sold out
has.
everywhere I go.
Yeah, I bought it on Steam, bought it for PC, and I've been playing it.
Disappointed.
Why?
You need it on 360.
Well, I'll get it there eventually. I just, at the time, I have more people who are saying, buy it on PC so we can play co-op. I don't get anyone PMing me saying, Jake, come on, let's play it on 360. Not even you, Mr. Pete. I didn't hear you.
Well, I heard that the PC version had like a lot of problems. Am I right?
Yeah, something about a really goofy launch. I don't know if they fixed it or whatever. I heard that too.
For the first 2 days, yeah, they released it, and for some reason, they released for the first couple of days. Remember here, they released a developer version of it or something. Something got messed up where if you pressed Y on the keyboard, it would turn on no clip, and you could just no clip through the entire fucking game. And then they quickly patched it right after. I don't know, how can you make that mistake? I don't know how that
that's
happened.
a pretty big one.
That's a pretty big one. So, but other than that, I mean, yeah, granted, I mean, I think I found some glitches and just running around and jumping on things because I like to try to jump on things and get in areas where you're not supposed to. I don't recommend you do that in Dead Island. Okay, where most games you can get out of where you are or restart, right? And here you have to restart the last checkpoint. And if it hasn't saved, that could or could not fuck you. So be really careful. I have glitched out at least, let's see, I've done it a total of 3 times. I've been playing it maybe a week. But where you jump, I jump over a fence and jump down in between a tree, I get stuck. Or
Really?
That's happened twice. Yeah, I mean, but I think that would happen on any version that you get it on.
This is the Steam version you got on?
Yeah, for PC. Yeah, PC.
PC, yeah.
But again, these are just areas where you could jump and get over and get stuck on no matter what platform. But other than glitches, I don't know, Pete, what have you heard for glitches? I haven't really come across really too much other than that launch fiasco. Which
I don't know. I just remember reading something, so I'm sure it wasn't too bad. So I guess you probably explain the worst of it.
Yeah,
but
that's
no,
all I found really.
Because I knew that you had bought it on Steam, and then I'm like, well, I'm not going to spend $50 on this game on Steam just in case I don't like it. I'll buy it on 360. That way I can resell it afterwards. Because I did not plan on buying Dead Island. I was going to wait until it dropped down to $20-$30, which will happen in a few months without a doubt. This game's going to be $30-$40 in no time because of all the other games coming out. But there were just too many people talking about it. Literally the day after I made my video where I'm like, oh yeah, Dead Island just came out. I'm going to hold off on that one. The next day, all I heard was Dead Island, Dead Island, Dead Island, Dead Island. And I'm like, all right, I'm buying this fucking game while it was in stock because apparently this game's selling out everywhere. And it's fun. I have to say, I like it a lot more than I thought I would. The best way to describe this game is think Borderlands paired with Left 4 Dead, but on a bright island setting. And an environment, an open world setting, that's actually really believable. That is my favorite part about this game, bar none, is just the open environment of this island. It's super impressive. I mean, it probably helps that one of my favorite movies of all time is Zombie by Lucio Fulci, which is basically...
I know that one.
It's a zombie movie that takes place on an island just like this one. So I'm like, wow, I'm in heaven with this shit. And it's fun because it takes elements from Borderlands where you just go around and you loot random bags and you get, not random weapons, but you get weapons that are scaled to your level and you can kind of modify them to add electricity or fire to them. But it's not stupid shit where your axe is constantly flaming for no reason. For the electric mod, you'll see the battery and the wire on it kind of, modded onto it. So it kind of makes a little bit of sense. And you level up and you skill up and you skill your characters up and, whichever way you see fit, there's skill trees. And it's fun. I've mainly just been playing online with random people. just jumping into random games, which it's very glitchy right now with joining random rooms, but I'll just say this because I think the glitch is still going on by the time this podcast come up. To fix that problem, go into the lobby, the game lobbies, and click on the person's name, or press X to bring up their gamer tag, send them a message, and then back out. Like, you don't have to send it, just bring up the message prompt and back out, and then you'll be able to join their session in progress. So that's how I've been joining random people's rooms, and they're like, oh, who the hell is this guy? Because it's not working right now. But that's how you get around the problem. And it's a lot of fun. You can play with up to 4 people, and each character has their own specific role. Like, I play as the black guy who uses blunt weapons, and he sort of acts as the tank. And it's very atmospheric. Like, it starts off sort of out on a bright island, and then I just entered a big hotel. That's the last thing I did, and it's very dark inside and whatnot. And you go throughout the hotel, which is designed very good. It's not
I know
just
wherever
like,
you are, Pete.
Yeah. The only thing that kind of screws me over by just playing online constantly and joining people's rooms is it's kind of ruining the story or the progression of the game for me, because it seems all disjointed. Like, I join someone's room and it's like, quest accepted, new quest, and it's like throwing me all over the place. And I kind of have a feeling I'm playing the game out of order.
That has to deal with who you're playing with, though, Pete. You know what I mean? Because man, I got with a group of guys, and we are going through it together. That is the way to play this game. It's unfortunate that you don't have like a core group of people that you're just going to go through and play with, because you can jump around and you can get really out of hand unless you guys are communicating. You have to pick the quests that you want to work on and do them. You know what I mean? That's tough.
See, I need to find a group of players like that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why I got it on PC, because I had a core group of guys that we were going to do that with.
But anyway, I would recommend it, wouldn't you, Jason? It's pretty fun.
100%. Yeah. I was, me, and not being too familiar with kind of the RPG elements, it was a little confusing at first, but after playing it for, a good, like, about 3 hours, then I was completely solid with how everything worked, and the leveling system and the modding of the weapons and equipping and dropping. And, that
should be noted that this is a first-person game with melee weapons for the most part. So there's guns in the game, which I haven't even found yet, but they're very few and far between. So it's and the strange part is, I'd say one of the less exciting things about the game, believe it or not, is the actual melee combat. But the rest of the game is so fun, that it's kind of not even phasing me that the actual melee combat that this game is built around is not the best thing out there. So I guess that says a lot for the rest of the game.
How's the AI?
In the 360 version, it's been kind of finicky. Like, some of the zombies, like the thug zombies, like sort of like the big brute guys, have just stood there in some cases and just let me attack them. So the AI isn't perfect, but it sort of has that jump factor where you'll just be running along and the zombie will jump out of nowhere, like from behind on you, and they will follow you. So if a zombie sees you and like gets up off the ground and starts coming after you and you like run away, they will come and track you down.
Yeah, they will. They don't stop. Yeah, the AI. Now that's strange that I hear some of that on 360, Pete. I haven't noticed that at all on the PC side. I mean, like you can see them in the distance, but if you get too close, they will see you.
It was just one case in this one room, and it did happen to me twice. So it's probably just this one zombie that's all glitched out. But yeah, if they see you in the distance, they're coming after you. And this game is pretty damn challenging. Like, in 4-player co-op, you have to work together, because if you go off alone, you're gonna get fucking chomped down.
It's true. Yeah. So yeah, I highly recommend it to anyone out there who has been either on the fence or, on a little borderline on getting it. It's definitely a great game.
Get it now before all the other shit comes out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm really enjoying it. So
how's the single player campaign? Have you played that, or you played all multiplayer?
Yeah, I played that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, the single player campaign is basically exactly what you do in co-op.
Well, Here's how the single player campaign is supposed to work, but it's not quite working the way it's supposed to. While you're playing single player, it will prompt you. It'll come up on the screen and say, hey, this player is, at the same point in the story or the same mission that you're on. Do you want to join them, or do you want them to join you? And at some points, as long as you have your game open, and not closed, people will just join you and start playing together, which happened to me once. But it's not working properly, so it's not happening as frequently as it should. So I just track down 3-player rooms and join up with other people.
Okay,
so
cool.
People can jump in and jump out at any time, and you can just keep playing. It's really cool.
Cool.
Have you guys heard anything about the PS3 version? Know if there's anything up with that version at all? That's because that's what I'm going to end up having to get it on if I end up picking it up.
No, not that I haven't heard anything bad about it.
I haven't either. No.
Okay.
There's some
that's
hentai in it though. There's some hidden hentai, so you know.
Some tentacles come
There
out of the
actually
ocean.
there actually
Yeah,
is
then I'm out of here. I got to go pick it up. I'll see you guys later.
there actually is sort of it's an island, and there's like huts and everything and bars everywhere, tiki bars, and one of the rooms in one of the hotel rooms is a porn scene. They don't show anything, but have you seen that room, Jason?
Shit, he's been in there all the time. That's where he hangs out.
I haven't left the room, Pete.
There's there's a video camera set up on a tripod and like a zombie girl tied to the bed and shit. And yeah, it's pretty funny.
In all honesty, no, I have not seen that room, and I'm
exploring. If you like games where you explore,
the
this
shit
is the
out
game
of
for
it.
you.
Okay, because I think I'm further than you. What level are you?
Like 14, I think.
Oh, okay. Because I'm level 16, and I know you're talking about that hotel.
It's pretty early on in the game.
Yeah, okay.
It's early on in the game when there's all like the tiki huts and the bars, like around that mission.
Oh, it's
point
in a bungalow.
Yeah. It's telling you what to go find, like the food cans or shit like that.
Oh, the canned food.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. I didn't.
But there's
see it.
constant missions, so just like Borderlands and like Fallout and stuff, it's almost like think World of Warcraft, where you take on like 10 missions and then you just pick and choose which ones you want to do, and then you get an XP and item reward and shit. And people that like color-coded rarity on their items, this game has that. It's got the white and the green and the blue and the purple and the orange to scale the rarity of the weapons that you get.
Sounds cool, man.
Yeah,
it is.
Definitely pick it up, John. I think you'd really like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Just get it on Steam so you can play with me.
So we were talking on Facebook a little earlier on, and I just want to barge in and ask this, but I want to hear what you guys thought about White Knight Chronicles 1, because the second one is out today. I know Pete's ordered it. He's getting it. Should have got it today. He's pissed off he didn't get it today. He'll get it tomorrow. But maybe start with Pete, because Bracey, did you play a lot of this game?
I did, yeah. I played a lot of the first one, but I didn't buy it right when it came out. I was originally going to import it, and then it kind of like fell off my radar for a while, and so I waited for the US version. And then when it came out, didn't end up picking it up. I waited until I think I got it from one of those. You know how like GameFly does those clearance sales? I ended up getting it for like $20 through GameFly new. And then when I got it, I was kind of kicking myself because I was like, man, this game is awesome. And I totally missed out on it when it came out. But yeah, I put a ton of time into it. The online was just excellent.
This is my question then. This is the online. Okay. My thing was I started to play the game. I thought the graphics were beautiful. I liked the combat.
Yeah.
But I remember I did a new Game Stuff episode way back in the day, and I was showing the game, and my problem is it froze on me 3 times. And while I was capturing, it was funny, while I was capturing the footage for it, I actually jump in front of the TV and go, look. And as the game is playing, it froze. And I actually was able to capture that in real time.
Wow.
And it happened numerous times. And also, there was another weird thing that happened. I had Rob over, and we were playing it. And what was the deal? There was some glitch where all of a sudden my characters could not attack.
Huh.
Never happened to me.
Yeah, I'd never seen that either.
Johnny, though, in all
I put
seriousness,
like hundreds of hours into it.
Yeah, people invest thousands of hours into this White Knight Chronicles series.
That's what I wanted. That's what I want to talk about.
But here's the thing: did you play the online at all?
This is why I'm getting to is that I played it so much. I dealt with so much glitching in White Knight Chronicles that it frustrated me. I had my character to go online. I never did because I was so turned off the game. Here's my initial impressions. I thought, well, who's playing the online game? Because the offline game is so fucking broken. How good is the online? And this is where you guys are going to chime in and tell me how fucking awesome.
Well,
it was good.
It seems like it's made for you because it plays very similar to like Phantasy Star Online and Monster Hunter, but with a fantasy medieval kind of twist to it. Because White Knight Chronicles 1 supported up to 4 players, so you'll join a lobby, and the lobby room is actually their player created rooms. So sort of like Dark Cloud, you can
PSO. It's like Phantasy Star Online, same thing.
You can design. People design their own rooms and like place the towns and the way they look, and like you can add trees and whatnot and shops and harvest points. So
I love that shit.
So you can join. There'll be a lobby. I forget exactly how many players can be in there, but I think it was up to 12. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it was a good amount.
And then you'd pick 3 other people and you'd go off and do a quest. So, just like in Phantasy Star Monster Hunter, you go and you either kill a boss, you kill a specified enemy, or you go and gather materials, shit like that. And you take down the boss at the end, and it's very gratifying.
And so you can just go into the wild and just fight monsters and stuff like that as well.
You get material, and then you use that material to craft new weapons and armor. And there's always a constant sense of progression in White Knight Chronicles, because unlike other MMOs like Final Fantasy 11 and whatnot, you're constantly getting shit. And this shit is used to upgrade your equipment. So you always have that satisfaction of upgrading. But the cool thing about White Knight Chronicles 2 is, instead of 4 players, it now supports up to 6 players. So it's sort of like you get your own little band of, your little army together, and you go and slay the dragons and shit. The only
my next question, how did you communicate in the game?
It has voice and text chat.
What did you use?
I always had my headset on, and if no one else in the room had their headsets on, I took my headset off and just used the keypad. But if people were talking, I just kept my headset on.
Right.
If you have friends to play with, this is the game to play with friends, because obviously you want to communicate, you want to help each other get material. Because here's the thing, this is a grind-heavy game. The reason why people invest thousands of hours in this series is because certain things that you have to craft require you to grind and farm like items that have like a 0.5% chance of dropping. So obviously, if you want some of the better stuff, and we're talking much, much, much later on in the game, a point in the game that I didn't get to, you have to play with people that will help you get these items.
Nice.
So if you're into sort of grinding, this is the game for you.
Okay, this may sound funny because I back in the old. Okay, I thought I got dropped again, but back in the old Phantasy Star days, I was a real hacker near the end, and not hacking anybody else. I would just hack and create my own weapons and all that shit. I loved it. I did it offline. I brought them online. I did all that stuff. There probably is a way to do that in White Knight Chronicles, or is it all server side?
I'm not sure.
Good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm assuming they fixed that. They don't want people doing that,
Well, that's too bad. Well, you know what? If you can create your characters
But there's
offline,
also, if you play it online, there's also a lot of different ways to kind of boost when you play online, depending on who you play with, too. I've noticed a lot of that in the first one.
Yeah.
Well, your character is interchangeable between single player and online. So whatever you get in single player goes to online. But here's the biggest flaw of the game that puts off a lot of people. It's not a problem after the first, 50 hours or so. But here's the thing. The single player is tied to the online. So in order to unlock quests and be able to... So in White Knight Chronicles 2, what you couldn't do in the first one is you can transform into your, whatever they call it, the Incorruptus or something like that, the big giant mechs. In order to do that, in the second one, you basically have to almost beat the game, supposedly. And this is the way it was in the first White Knight Chronicles. If you wanted to unlock guild quests, which are basically the quests you can play online, you have to play the single player to unlock them. So you're sort of forced to play through the single player, which admittedly, I found it to be pretty mediocre. And, so it's sort of meant to be played in conjunction with one another. So as you're playing through single player, you're supposed to unlock a few quests, go online, play them, level up a little bit, jump back to the single player, play a little bit more, unlock some more, and go back and forth. But if you don't give a shit, it is cool. But if you don't give a shit about the single player, then you're going to hate it. And for me, I was into the game enough in White Knight Chronicles 1 where I started a new game plus, and the second I beat the game the first time, I went back and beat it a second time in a day, because the way that New Game Plus works is, it's so stupid when you hear this. You keep all your character levels and skills and shit, and then the enemies in the game keep their levels. So you start the game over at high level, all your skills, and all the enemies in the game don't level up. They stay the way they were as if it was your first playthrough.
Cool. I love that. You can, as you said, you beat the game in a day again. That's very cool.
Well, here's the reason why I rushed through it is because in New Game Plus, chests open up in the game that unlock some rare equipment that you can only get through that New Game Plus mode. So I went through it again and just grabbed all the chests and then went right back online.
Oh, fucking cool. So, okay, here's my next question. So you beat the game, White Knight Chronicles 1. You can transfer your data into number 2. And what does that give you?
So now I'm not 100% on this, but here's how it works. White Knight Chronicles 2, and it comes with the disc 1 of White Knight Chronicles 1. The reason being is because, let me get this straight, and I'm actually a little disappointed in this. White Knight Chronicles 2 is not even a sequel. Okay, that might sound weird. This is an expansion.
Wow.
I got the strategy guide. Okay, you open that shit up. The first chapter in there, you think it would say chapter 1? It's fucking chapter 8. This is a direct continuation of the first game, and the guide even makes that clear. They're like, if you haven't played White Knight Chronicles 1, you might want to do that. Because when you pop in White Knight Chronicles 2, it doesn't give you a tutorial. It doesn't give you a story recap. It just plops you right into the game as
We got feedback from you, John.
I know. Whenever someone sends me a PM, it for some reason, even though I have my headset on.
Yeah, I was sending some really fucking amazing screenshots of this game to everybody. God, does it ever look good?
But how it works is it plops you into the game right where the first one left off. So if you haven't played the first one, the story in this is not going to make sense to you at all. And the gameplay mechanics aren't going to make sense to you either because it's not giving you a tutorial. So what they recommend is if you absolutely want to avoid playing White Knight Chronicles 1, you just want to jump into 2, play the tutorial of the first game. And when you're done with that, pop in the second one. Now, you can play the second game without having played the first. They will let you do that. But if you play the first game and you have a save file from that, you can transfer your character from the first game into the second one. It'll retain everything. The only thing it's going to do is if you were above level 35, it's going to cap you at level 35 when you start the game in the second one. So that might be an issue for some people, but it does let you transfer your data.
You know what? I just couldn't stand the fucking game freezing on me in the first time. I loved it. It was really my kind of game.
The gameplay, the battle game, you know, and Johnny, you've played it. It's similar to, and the good thing is, in White Knight Chronicles 2, they've updated the problems with the first game where the battle system was a little slow, where when you first go to engage an enemy in the first game, before it was updated, you'd have to wait for the ring to fill up before you can do your first attack. They've improved that by allowing you to instantly attack now without having to wait for it to fill up on your first attack. And the ring also fills up at a faster pace. So it's a lot faster than it was.
So that's the updated version. Like, what's going to really suck is now I actually would like to go back and do the first game. Jesus.
Well, you can do that.
Same here. Because I don't really even remember the storyline that well enough to be comfortable jumping right into, you know.
No, I know. I'm sure it's not that complex. I remember as well as that. Yeah, well, I'm not going to say right, in case anyone wants to play it, but it's pretty basic to you getting your mech, we'll say.
Sorry, I didn't mean storyline. I just meant like as far as the mechanics go. It's been so long since I've played it. I'm kind of unfamiliar.
Yeah, do the tutorial first. But here is the killer that I did not know until I just got my guide. A large majority of the environments and levels and dungeons from White Knight Chronicles 1 are completely reused in White Knight Chronicles 2.
Oh, shit.
So really?
A lot of the shit that you did in the first game, you're going to be doing that again in the second game, in the single player. So they have a lot of backtracking to old areas. I guess they just added new monsters, maybe. But what really surprised me is I got the guide and I realized, I couldn't quite remember how high of a level I was and what guild rank I was. Because I'm looking through the guide and for White Knight Chronicles 2 content, they're kind of assuming that your character is kind of leveled up in a way. Now I could be wrong. There could be new content early on. I might not have my stuff right here because I kind of just flipped through the guide. But it's kind of assuming that you played through the first White Knight Chronicles and you have a character that's leveled up and stuff to access the content in the second game. I was under the impression that White Knight Chronicles 2 is going to be like a fresh start. There's going to be like new low-level quests, which there might be, for all I know. But it seems like if you're starting a new character, you're going to start with the online content from White Knight Chronicles 1 and then work your way up towards White Knight Chronicles 2. But let me just say this, John, you saw that video I posted on Facebook. The fucking endgame battles in this shit look epic as all hell. Like where you can
they look pretty sweet.
You could do like multiple giant mech transformations online and shit. It looks amazing. Like the battles against bosses look fun as hell.
I do want to clarify something though, and I know Pete, you'll be able to tell me because if this isn't the case, this is what bothers me about it. Is the game's actual title White Knight Chronicles 2 or White Knight Chronicles Part 2?
White Knight Chronicles 2.
It was 2, yeah.
See, yeah, that's what gets under my skin. It would make a lot more sense if they just would have called it, White Knight Chronicles Part 2.
Yeah, because it really is a direct continuation.
Exactly.
So Pete, sorry. Yeah. The one thing I'm trying to understand is that your character is in the first one is what level?
I can't remember what.
Well, take a guess. Okay, just say you're just for the sake of argument. Say you're level 27, and you're going into the second game. You'll still be level 27.
I will if I choose to transfer my character over.
Of course, you're going to do that.
Well, I probably will.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, if I made any mistakes, you can buy with real money for $5 a skill. This is stupid. A lot of people hate this, but you can buy a skill ticket to reset your skills in the game. You get one for free at first. But yeah, I could kind of reset my character if I wanted to. But the bad thing is if new people are buying this and they're starting all over again, I don't know if I'll be able to play with them at first.
So you got to pay to reset your stats?
They give you one free reset ticket once, but yeah, they do, for some unknown reason, make you pay to reset your skills again if you want to do it again.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of
That's a
stupid.
scam. Oh, Bracey, is that you? Feedback?
It shouldn't be. Can you hear me okay?
The aliens have got him. The aliens have got him.
Yeah, this happened last time.
Yeah, unplug your mic, plug it back in. Or we'll call you back. How about that?
But
Okay,
yeah,
can you hear
I mean, Johnny, if anything, I could always start a new character again. Like, if there's enough people that buy this game.
I'm absolutely stoked that I almost was moved enough to go out, after the podcast to go and start playing the first one again. Just to see again.
No, don't do that. Get the updated version. So get White Knight Chronicles 2 because it updated the first game.
So Pete, you're saying if you don't have the first one, then go out and get the second one.
The second one because it comes with the first game and the second game.
Okay.
So
is there a monthly service to it?
No, it's free.
Free.
So I get the second game. Do I just jump into the second game now? Like,
You could, but I would suggest starting with the first one. At least, if you really want to do it for the story, start with the first one. Because if you jump into the second one, you're going to have no clue what's going on.
If they fix the glitching and they fixed everything, then I'm fucking in. Yeah, totally.
I mean, and let me know, because I can make a second character, I'm assuming. And, I can play with you on my second character if I want to start over. I put in a lot of time. That's the only thing. I put in over 100 hours into my original character. Because the thing is, you're not just leveling up your character, you're also leveling up your guild quest rank. So you're leveling up your guild rank in order to unlock more advanced quests.
Yeah, I'm going to end up starting over, I think.
We should do this game.
Because you know what? I probably will have to start over. Because then again, I'll get to play with you guys. Yeah. And I don't think I know anybody that is importing their character. So it wouldn't even really make much sense for me,
That's true. And you could kind of breeze through it pretty quick if you had, a steady, stable of people to play with. Although I need to go get a headset. I do not have a PS3 headset anymore.
It's a good thing you said that. Because I just bought the new PS3 wireless headset, which is it's sort of like, think of like the Turtle Beach headsets, but this one's made specifically for PlayStation 3. But the cool thing is it's wireless and it plays surround sound through the headset. So it's not like the Turtle Beach wireless headsets where you got to hook up like the wireless receiver and all that bullshit. You just plug in a little dongle into your PS3 USB slot. And boom, there it is. You're talking and you have surround sound in this headset. And it's a very light, fairly comfortable headset. I actually was wearing it prior to recording this, but I had to switch to a different headset because this thing blocked out like so much outside sound that I could barely hear myself talking.
Wow.
So I had to put on my old headset. So
how much do those run, the new ones?
They're $100, so they're a little pricey. Yeah. But if you're looking for, and you can use it with your PC. I tried it. It doesn't work with the Xbox. But I bought this specifically for White Knight Chronicles because I hate Bluetooth headsets with a passion. Because I always lose them. I forget to charge them. They die. They're uncomfortable. So I got this, and I'd have to say I'm really happy with it. Nice. I'm stoked. I'm totally stoked. You just make sure you have a Bluetooth headset, Johnny. Oh, fuck. Does any work, or what would you recommend? Any Bluetooth headset works, but if you want to pick up the PS3 one, I'd recommend it for sure.
Actually,
it sounds like fucking crickets in the background.
Yeah, that's cool.
Crickets chirping.
You got a window open there, Bracey?
I thought that was Jason with like a
I did. I was outside smoking.
Oh, Jesus.
That was hilarious.
Getting all kinds of background noise. I'm like, what the fuck?
Guns going off in the background and shit.
Hey, man, I don't live in that bad a neighborhood. Come on now.
I know we have like moments where we're quiet, but crickets? Come on. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say, if you want a really cheap way to get a PS3 headset, if you can still find any of those, remember those SOCOM bundles?
Yeah, I got SOCOM.
Shit.
Yeah, it'll work, though.
Yeah, what's that?
I have a headset from like the PS2 days for SOCOM. Is that good enough?
Oh yeah, that'll work.
Well, fuck else, let's do that.
Well, test it out beforehand.
Well, how will I test it out?
Just plug it into your PS3 and go to the device settings, and then just go to the microphone level. And if you see the bar going up and down when you talk,
okay,
that's actually a really good headset.
I sync any Bluetooth headset to a PS3.
Perfect.
I use a Jawbone for mine. It's a Bluetooth headset. You can use anything.
Fucking cool. I like it.
Yeah, but I'm excited for White Knight Chronicles again. I really don't care much if I have to start over, because if anything, I'd rather start over and play with people I know than fucking continue my old character and just fucking not be able to play with anybody,
Oh, Pete, you know what? Speaking of which, I wanted to ask you. I tried to add you earlier on my PS3, but of course, it says you already reached maximum capacity on your list. And then I was thinking, what is the maximum capacity anyway?
I'm not sure, actually. I think it's maybe 100. I really don't know off the top of my head.
I'm hardly on the online aspect.
Oh, I barely go online with the PS3. If I do, I don't read or respond to many messages at all. I'm just not into the PS3 online structure.
We've talked about that.
I know people on there, but I don't. It's not a community like I have on 360.
I know.
Yeah,
it's very clunky.
Easier.
Everything has to load. It's I don't want to sound like I'm just bashing on the PS3 online, but honestly, 360 online is just so much better than
I just hate the interface with how to communicate and connect.
Yeah, I agree.
It takes you have to do at least 2 or 3 different presses just to read and then delete a message and then it's deleted. Okay, confirm X. Okay, confirm.
It's just like Sony though. That's Sony for you. It really is.
Just delete the damn thing.
And it ain't the PS3. It's every Sony product. I'm not a big fan of a lot of stuff. I have a Sony TV and I hate it. I find it's really a pain in the ass to navigate through the menu systems. I'm like, this is so unintuitive. They made it so much more complicated than it needs to be.
Well, here's the last nail in the coffin before we move away from White Knight Chronicles. The really cool thing is there's now I haven't used it in a while, so I'm not 100% on this, but there's sort of this whole online blog community thing. So guilds can set up their own website of sorts in the game where you can leave messages to one another on a message board, and you can update people. You can say, hey, I got this new piece of equipment, blah, 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 take a picture and post it on your page, and other people can check it out, and you can add. It has its own friends list within the game instead of having to add everybody on PS3. So it has this really good online structure to the actual community aspect of the game, which is really cool.
Yeah, we gotta get a few more. We could start
up a big guild. We could start up our own guild.
Well, let's see if we enjoy it first. Let's go in and see if it's all rubbing us the right way and all that, and then we'll see after that.
Well, if you get addicted to Phantasy Star Online,
oh fuck yeah,
you know how the combat is. It's like Final Fantasy 12 and 11 kind of mixed together.
That's cool.
It's turn based, but it's real time.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm all about playing it, but I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'll play it until Dark Souls comes out, and once Dark Souls comes out, my life's over for a few months.
Yeah, you know what? I'll be honest too. I don't know how long I'll be playing it with all the other shit that's coming out.
Yep.
But for the meantime, it's going to be my game of choice.
But there's nothing else out right now. That's why that game's shining so much. But still, I think it looks very, very good. Very good. So, what's everybody else been playing?
I haven't been playing. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's so funny that we went on about this game for so long and none of us have even played it yet. This is the first one.
Well, it comes out today, right?
Yeah, I should have it by tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah. I haven't been playing much. I've been out of town a lot, but the good news is next 3 out of 4 weeks, I'm actually home. So I'm excited to actually dig into some more modern games. But I picked up at Vintage Stock, one of my favorite shops over in the Midwest. I picked up a game called Warpath. It's Jurassic Park Warpath for the PS1. Have you guys played this?
I remember that.
Have you heard about it? It's pretty rare. I mean, the game's not easy to find. It's kind of like, it's a fighting game with dinosaurs. It's kind of like Primal Rage, but it's a pretty decent game.
Huh.
Jason, have you played this?
You know what? I rented it back in the day, but I don't own it. Yeah, it reminded me a lot of Primal Rage.
Yeah, it's very similar to Primal Rage, but the graphics are pretty decent. I forget who makes it. I don't have it in front of me, but it's a pretty good game for the PS1. But I've been visiting a lot of arcades out on the road. I hit up arcade in Springfield, Missouri called 1982. And I was amazed. First of all, I do a lot of shopping, but it's amazing how many arcades are still around. I mean, I know there aren't that many, but every time I go to, there's at least one or two. You just got to know where to look. And usually what I do is like Google search and usually they pop up. But this place, didn't really know what to expect. I was really surprised. They had like a bunch of old school arcade games. They had the original Tron. They had a sit-down cocktail or a sit-down version, a cockpit version of Star Wars, the Atari Star Wars arcade.
Oh, that's rare. Yeah.
Which is really rare.
Yeah.
That's worth about $15,000 right there in the arcade.
Wow.
But it was really cool. And I was talking to these guys, the owners, about it. And I was explaining about my machine and how I've been working, trying to get that to work. But that's my goal. In the next month, get that shit fixed. I got to get my Atari Star Wars arcade up and going. That's my goal. But they had all the, all the Donkey Kongs, and they had the Pac-Mans, and it was cool because they were playing retro music too. It was like you walk in, it was like old school arcade. It was really neat. And then I'm here in Vegas this week, and last night I hit up Pinball Hall of Fame again. This is like my 5th time going there. Wow. But I love that place. It's open really late. That's the beautiful thing about Vegas, is everything's open really late.
Yeah,
or 24 hours for that matter. But really cool. They actually have a new game store called Gamers Paradise right next door to it. And when I went last night, it was already closed. It closed at 7, but I plan on hitting that up tomorrow. They sell retro games and stuff, so hopefully I can do some video in that. But that's pretty much it. I haven't really been playing like too many games, modern games anyway.
When you get your Star Wars arcade fixed, I'm going to say only one thing to you.
What's that?
Yahoo! You're all quick.
Nice. Speaking of Star Wars, we're on the topic. Are you guys picking up the Blu-rays Friday? I'm in line for that shit.
Yes. I'm gonna go to the States to get it. I'm thinking if I do get it, just because I just don't want the French on the map.
It's funny. I just remembered this. I remember we were reminded that this is how the whole "I'll be in line for that shit" was started, wasn't it? When I mentioned that I'd be in line for that shit for Star Wars in 3D or whatever.
Oh, 3D.
Yeah.
Well, hey, John, I got to ask you, what do you think about all the new changes he's doing to the Blu-rays?
So I know they there's a scene in the Return of the Jedi that I'm aware of that it's where Darth Vader and I guess its Emperor is using lightning bolts against Luke, and Luke is like, save, help me, and then Darth Vader, they added the whole no, and then he's like those.
I thought that was one of the most powerful parts of the whole series is that one epic scene right there where he doesn't say anything, and I think I'm kind of pissed off about that myself.
Yeah, well, it's all internal. I was saying this to a friend at work. It was all internal. That was the moment when Darth Vader went from being he was a good guy who became evil to becoming good again. It's kind of like the Godfather moment. It's when he realizes what he's done and he becomes good again.
It's a scene where when I see that scene, I see Darth Vader look at the Emperor. He looks at Luke. He looks at the Emperor. He looks at Luke. You kind of see him back and forth. Yeah. And you can kind of tell he's battling inside what he should do. And then all of a sudden he kind of talks. I think it says it all by not saying anything.
Yeah.
I think adding the nose kind of a mistake. Empire Strikes Back. They added some more love scene between Han Solo and Princess Leia, supposedly.
Ooh.
They do it. They get doggy style on it, and then do it right there on Millennium Falcon, right there on the table.
And
I was gonna pick these movies up, but now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, but seriously, there's some.
John, you know what he did to the Ewoks as well, right?
He had them to blinking, right?
They're all blinking now. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all blinking. Yeah.
I was always saying that. Why aren't they blinking? I always was saying no.
Yeah.
Nobody was saying
that. So there's 40 hours of like never seen before footage and just documentary stuff. So I'll be busy this week and probably watching most of that, having a big marathon.
But man, like I was telling my friend's like, well, it's cool to have all the special features. I'm like, yeah, I give it to you for that. But it's so hard to watch these movies once again with all these changes, and you watch in the movie and you have to pretend that those scenes that they put in are not there. We all know the ones we're talking about.
I hope that they I really hope that they actually come out. I'm not sure if it's on here or not, but I hope they just have a version with the original version, no special edition.
They're never
know
doing
the people are going to double dip. They'll release the original versions on Blu-ray in 2 years or a year from now.
Yeah, that's true.
No, they won't.
Just like fucking Lord of the Rings.
George Lucas went on record saying years ago, even for the DVDs, hey, if you want pristine copies of the originals, they're still on VHS. That was his exact word.
Yeah, but they released the originals on DVD.
Yeah, they did release it.
They are, but they're not remastered. That's what he's talking about. They're not nothing special. That's exactly. I have those in the tin box, right?
Wait, I could be wrong, but didn't those re-release versions on DVD, weren't they only in full screen, or am I wrong?
No, I have a widescreen version of it.
They are? Okay.
Yeah. But I think they're enhanced like color. You know, they. I have the original VHSs, which I love, just old school like
laser discs. John, you got to have the laser disc.
I have the laser disc. I do have the laser disc.
So do I.
I do have definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, Steven Spielberg got so many props from me today. I'm so super happy because he's actually going to release. Okay, I know it's not that exciting. He's releasing E.T. That's on Blu-ray, but get this. The original version, not that fucking version where the cops are like, the cops or the CIA agents are pointing with their walkie-talkies instead of their guns. Remember? Do you remember that?
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Just releasing the original fucking version with no alterations. Give the man props. This is what we want. We don't want fucking these enhanced versions. I'm so sick and tired of that. I want the original version. I like the flawedness of the original. You know?
Well, yeah, that's part of its charm. I mean, you take that away, and it doesn't have that same appeal anymore. You know?
Yeah.
Did they add a whole bathroom scene?
What's bathroom scene?
No, like E.T. Like when they're in the bathroom, like they had like computer enhanced E.T. himself, and like when he spoke and stuff. Yeah.
When he's having sex with the kids or something, that scene?
Yeah, they'll have the threesome menage a trois right there in the bathroom for the kids.
But
E.T. always had some long-ass fingers, you know.
And he was
the scene where
instead
of E.T. where he's like, "I'll be right here," and he's pointing to the heart, he's actually points to the kid's cock, and he's like, "I'll be right here."
John, that's ridiculous.
There goes my childhood. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is pretty funny, actually. On Amazon, the Star Wars Blu-ray movies, for over 1,000 customer reviews, 781 one-star reviews, and then 177 5-star. So there's a lot of people that are pissed off about this as well.
But you know how many people are going to get that shit though? So many people.
Oh yeah, I'm sure 90% of those people that left a 1-star still buying it.
What's it going to retail for? Do we know?
It was like $96 or something.
Well, the sale, according to Amazon, the list price is $139.99, but the actual sale price is $79.99.
Yeah, but when I got mine at Best Buy, I got a freeze frame like a cell too, from from the motion picture, or whatever. It was pretty cool.
Nice. So, John, out of curiosity, I've never asked your opinion on this. What do you think? Like, in Return of the Jedi, what do you think when they fucking changed the Ewok song, or should I say, got rid of the Ewok song? I fucking pisses me off.
I love the original one. Like,
man, me too.
I
know.
Yeah, I know. And they're hitting on the whole like stormtroopers helmets and stuff. Yeah, it's classic on the bongo jumps.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
I don't know. I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that they added Jar Jar Binks in the end too. You know, so
oh, I know. Talk about ruining things.
When they're flying over Coruscant or whatever, or what planet was I forget the planet, but you can see Jar Jar. They're like jump up. He's like yippee or whatever. You know, like fucking Jar Jar.
Get the fuck out of there.
When I open my Barbar drinks, I'm gonna have Jar Jar be not far of that.
Thanks. I'm so sad of all the changes he's made. I really like. It feels that every single scene he's just said, "Okay, we got to change this." He's changing things just for the sake of it. It's like, no, you know what? The movies that were made were great, and everybody loves those. Like, you know, like it really bothers me. Because we can't go and buy. If I could just go and buy the originals on Blu-ray, that's all I'd buy.
Right.
I buy the prequel movies too. Because
I'm getting confused now because like I haven't watched Star Wars in years, probably early 2000s when I saw it last. Now I'm getting confused because I have this. I have the VHS. See, which one is it? It's the VHS. I bought it from Best Buy. It's in a gold box.
Okay, that's a special edition.
And I have it sealed still.
That's a special edition. That's a standard. That's not widescreen. That's standard screen.
Okay.
Standard difference.
So if I want to watch Star Wars in like its original form in widescreen, Can I do that, or do I have to?
You can get a Laserdisc player, and that's probably the best format to watch it if you want to watch the original widescreen.
True. It is.
Okay, so they didn't release it on DVD unmodified.
They did, but it's all they enhance the color and the audio and stuff like that.
It
right?
doesn't look great, unfortunately.
It doesn't look good.
No, unless you watch a standard definition TV, which I do, to make it look good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. Now, speaking of movies, Jason, have you watched Lord of the Rings yet? I lent that shit to you like a month and a half ago. I was hoping that you might have watched it.
Yeah, you know, I've had a really busy couple of months.
Bullshit.
I'm looking at it right now. I've got it right in sight. So
I know exactly where it is. I know your room very well.
I haven't buried it. I'm looking at it. I will watch all 40 hours of it.
40 hours? 9 hours.
Hey, Bracey, you've seen Lord of the Rings, right?
I was about to say, I'll tell you guys right now, I've never once seen any Lord of the Rings movie.
Thank God.
Not you too.
Take the attention off of me. Fuck.
Look at this guy.
Yep. No, and I did it on purpose, 100%.
Why?
Because I could care fucking less.
Why?
About
They're good movies, though. Like, what are we gonna get?
Any of the crap and yada 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 that goes with it. I just don't care. And it's like my girlfriend keeps going, oh, well, you need to watch it. It's it's on Netflix or whatever. You need to watch it. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I don't have that kind of time. I just try and make excuses for it. But the real
it's time well spent.
It is time well spent. Yeah. Time flies when you watch it.
Honestly, you like role playing games. I like totally think it's a fantastic movie for that kind of, if you're into that kind of stuff.
Well, I like the interactivity of a game. I'm not really that. I've just never been into it. And I'll tell you what my other problem is. And it's kind of funny that Pete mentioned zombie earlier, because I don't know if you know this, Pete, but I'm actually a huge horror buff. That's like my second big passion aside from
you and I.
Yeah, and I've been
collecting horror. WHORE.
It's like John and I over here. We're
horror. Yeah, both.
Horror.
But yeah, I've been collecting horror films since I was a kid, and just on VHS, I've got over like 2,500. But
wow.
Yeah, it's been since I was about 9 or 10 years old, and so anyway, Peter Jackson for me was always a B movie, horror director. I look Peter Jackson, I think, okay, Bad Taste, Brain Dead /
Dead Alive, yeah,
whatever. So like that to me was that, and King Kong were like, you know what, fuck you, Peter Jackson, fuck you. It was like, because then I knew once Lord of the Rings and King Kong happened and all that I'd never get another movie like those two again. And I love both of those movies, and it was sort of like, damn it, I lost another, a great director to Hollywood. So.
Have you watched his version of King Kong before?
I fell asleep during it, as a matter of fact.
You like
it's okay. It's well done. It's a remake of King Kong. It's good, but it's King Kong. That's basically.
Yeah, I didn't like Jack Black.
Really into King Kong.
I thought Jack Black was fine. I thought he was a terrible cast for that movie because
he's a comedian and he's supposed to be funny, and this wasn't a good role for him. He's more of a serious guy.
But at some point I'll probably end up watching the Lord of the Rings thing, if not just the pressure of my girlfriend trying to make me watch it. She's really into like the fantasy style stuff, so she's gonna make me watch it at some point, and I bet you I'll probably like it too. But I'm proud of myself that I've done all this time and I still haven't seen any of them.
You've seen Star Wars,
I have no willpower like that. I have no willpower.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I will tell you this, John, I haven't watched any of the prequels on purpose.
You're not missing much of the prequels. I like Episode 3 is probably my favorite of the three.
Yeah, I agree. It was okay. But I mean, my favorite will always be Empire, and that's all there is to it. So
Empire Return for me, yeah.
Empire's a good one. I like Empire a lot.
For sure.
Because it's a darker one, and it's like the bad guys win in that movie. It's awesome.
Love it. But yeah, you have such good, amazing willpower. I don't have that kind of willpower as a thing. I mean, like something cool comes out, I'm like, okay, fuck, I gotta see that no matter what. No matter what. I was there.
Well, I had like deep rooted issues with mine, so
But you know what? You should like Peter Jackson. I really respect that guy. That he didn't just do a cheap. Like, oh, I'm just going to make a movie now because I got lots of money. He really cared about the source material, and he worked really hard on that movie, all three of them. And yeah, big credit for him. Yeah, you know what? He started with low budget horror movies, which were great, by the way. I kick ass for the Lord. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. This calls for divine intervention.
Yeah, do you know how many times I've watched that scene alone?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to see. It's just like him and Sam Raimi, right? Sam Raimi started off that way and then ended up being a big Hollywood person. But you know what? They brought their style with them. Like Sam Raimi, you can see that all through Spider-Man 1. He's just so engrooved in that movie. And I think
Evil Dead series is awesome, man. Evil Dead is great. Evil Dead movies are awesome. I love the Evil Dead. Army of Darkness. Oh,
do you know what? Me and my girlfriend were sitting around one night and I said, I forget what we were talking about, like Klaatu, Verada, and Nictu. That was on the wall in Tron. And I was like, oh shit. That's from fucking, the Day the Earth Stood Still. I'm like, oh my God, that's from Army of Darkness. And I never made the connection before. I'm like such an idiot. And she's like, Army of what? I'm like, you know what? We're watching Tron. Let's put that on hold. Let's watch Army of Darkness. And she loved Army of Darkness. Was like, okay, we're going to watch all the Evil Dead movies. So the next 2 nights we have to watch Evil Dead.
I can honestly say, though, that Army of Darkness is absolutely my least favorite of that series.
Oh, I enjoy it. I totally enjoy it.
I mean, I still liked it. I thought it was funny, but I didn't go into it expecting just a pure comedy. I actually saw that when it came out in theaters, and I was really, really hyped about it because Evil Dead 2 is still my favorite of the series.
Yeah.
And, I kind of went into it expecting, the just sheer craziness of Evil Dead 2, and it just totally wasn't that. So, I mean, when I saw it as a kid, I was kind of disappointed with it,
Oh, really?
But it's grown on me over the years as a comedy. You have to kind of take it for what it is.
That's Bruce Campbell at his finest. That's his comedy genius.
The one-liners are up there with Duke Nukem one-liners.
Oh,
I mean,
oh, for real. Yeah, you're absolutely right there.
Yeah, Bruce
what's
Campbell.
Hey, Johnny, what's that line you just said? The Klaatu, Ratu, Nictu?
Klaatu, Verada, Nictu.
Yeah. That's classic.
But that's a line from the Day the Earth Stood Still. And I used to watch the Day the Earth Stood Still when I was a kid. Old black and white science fiction film. And it's Klaatu was one of the names of one of the aliens, and Verada or whatever. And I forgot all about that. And then I'm watching Tron, and it's on one of the, I guess, Jeff Bridges is taking them through the offices or whatever, and it's written on one of the walls, Klaatu, Verada, Nictu. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, I phoned up Rob and I said, Rob, I never made the connection before, because Rob's a huge Army of Darkness Evil Dead fan. He goes, I only made the connection a few years ago too. It's really kind of a weird connection.
I'm fairly certain that those 3 names right there were also in Return of the Jedi. The barge aliens were named those too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Klaatu and Vratu Nictu. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they're named after. The old science fiction. Yeah.
Wow.
So, Johnny, what have you been playing lately?
You know what? Not too much. I was playing a few demos. I had to play El Shaddai, the demo of that after getting Darren that loot or whatever. And I don't know. Maybe it gets better. I thought it was okay. I was not really as moved as I wanted to be. But hey, have you guys tried the demo for that Space Marines game, the new one?
I heard it's pretty good. I haven't given it a shot yet, though. My brother was telling me to try it.
Pretty fun demo. Probably one of the best Space Marine games I've ever played, and I played a few of them. I remember playing. Oh God, here's one for you: Space Hulk on the 3DO.
Oh, I own Space Hulk.
Nice. That's an old game. That was hard back then too.
Yeah.
Hard time with that, but I played a few of this. The Space Marine games over the years, but I was always my friends used to play Space Marines and Warhammer when we were like in grade 9, and I was one of the guys who couldn't afford a rule book, so I never got to play, and I couldn't afford all the models and the paints and all that. It was a huge hobby into itself, and I always really was fascinated by the game. I loved watching it being played, and but I never thought there was any really good adaptations of games, and I got to say, for an action game, Jesus, it was very good.
Dawn of War was really good on the PC.
Which game? Oh, I see. I don't play games on the PC.
Yeah, Dawn of War was excellent.
Really?
Actually, you know what's funny about Warhammer? I used to work at a tattoo shop for a couple of years, and we had this back room where we, did all the tattooing or whatever. And there are these 2 guys that I worked with, 2 of the other artists or whatever, and they were like so into Warhammer. They had this whole huge thing that they built, like this whole landscape with styrofoam and all the pieces, and it was all over the back room, and it was so funny because they were so into it. And then we'd have a customer come in and they'd need to come back there and get something done, and they'd get all, pissed off and have to put it all away and take it out and put it in the dude's truck, and it was hilarious. But yeah, I mean, they were really, really into it. It's funny.
So cool. Yeah, I have actually been playing with the idea that when I'm finished doing the movie, whenever the fuck that is, I'm actually going to get back into D&D and get into Warhammer and get into painting miniatures again. That's actually, it's like my retirement from the movie. That's what I'm gonna kind of get back into again. It's something I'm really interested in, for sure.
So you said you didn't care for El Shaddai, huh? I haven't tried it yet. I was kind of curious about it.
Let's just say no. From the demo, I didn't give it. It didn't move me. So I'm sure the rest of the game gets better.
When I played the demo too, it kind of drops you right into the middle of the game. So the whole build up, the game has a nice build up. I'll just say the start, the first 2 or 3 hours of the game are, in my opinion, the best hours of the game, because you're kind of you're on your way into this huge tower, and then the rest of the game you work your way up the tower through different floors. So they kind of drop you in, and you really don't have much of a sense of the actual combat mechanics of it. The game itself, if you didn't really care for the demo, then I won't lie to you, you probably won't care for the rest of the game. If you really didn't care for the combat that much, well,
no, it's just very, very basic. It was very, very basic.
The game is very basic. The minute detail comes down to how much and they don't explain this in the demo, is there's a really, not in depth, but the combat kind of revolves around how much you are able to block and parry at just the right times, because later in the game it gets very hard and you have to kind of master the skill of blocking and parrying, and the rock, paper, scissors aspect of switching between the 3 weapons, and you only have 2 in the demo. The demo gives you a good taste of the gameplay of the combat, but it does get a little bit more involved in the actual game, but not so much more where it's 100% different.
It's really, it's really funny. I'm just trying to think.
El Shaddai is worth playing for the visuals. Okay.
Yeah, visuals.
There are people out there Darren RetroSnow, who's just in love with the game and praises it, which I can definitely understand. But for most people that play it, they would agree that the number one thing that you'd play this for are the visuals. And I've mentioned this, where if this game didn't have this visual style, it would overall be a pretty mediocre game, and it wouldn't get the attention it's getting, obviously.
Yeah, totally fine. So I know for other games I've been playing, I've actually been watching Kim play Dragon Quest 6. She's on the final boss, and just been watching her level up, man. It's been hilarious. I've been laughing hysterically. Reminds me of my older days of playing games. Getting to the last boss, getting annihilated, and then grinding another 6 levels. And I've really been enjoying. And I go sit on the bed with her as she's gets to the final boss. She defeats the dragon head. Oh, sorry. Defeats the 2 hands, and she's just about to go right for the dragon head and really kick its ass. Generates the hands back, then boom, casts 1 spell, wipes everybody out. I'm like, oh yeah.
Wait. Doesn't this mean that Kim is going to be? Did you beat Dragon Quest 6?
No, I played it.
So she's beating it before you then.
Oh, you know what? Because she's playing it. Her plan is to play through every Dragon Quest game.
Yeah. Which is very impressive, actually.
Yeah, that's
she beat so far.
Yeah, so she's nearly near the end of that. She thinks she can beat it tonight, so probably we'll do that later on. But and after that, Dragon Quest 8 that she's doing on the PS2, I'm going to hook that up on the standard def TV, and I can play stuff in the other room. So yes, that's kind of it. So yeah,
she started with 9, right? So she beat 9.
Finished 9. Yeah, and then she started with 6. She's nearly finished 6. Then moving on to 8, and then whatever she wants to do after that. Probably 5. She was talking about, but. She might take a break and play something else. This is a lifetime ambition. Nothing you can do in a couple months.
Speaking of Dragon Quest, though, we brought this up on the last episode.
Yes.
Dragon Quest 10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
the whole online debacle. I can't wait.
But
I think it's gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Super excited.
Yeah, we were talking about last time. What excited me the most is when you. It's online, first of all, yeah, and it's going to be on the
online MMO with a subscription fee, apparently.
Yeah, and then
do you know how much it's going to be?
Yeah, probably like $10-15 a month, perhaps.
Yeah,
not a big deal to play that game. But it's so cool. You leave the castle, and then you can just see slimes hopping off in the distance. It's very cool to see. And then you run in with your party, and there's 5 races supposedly, and The fifth race is human, something that's extinct or something. I remember reading that.
Huh.
All the others are like animal or monster races, I should say. Oh, wow. I hope I'm getting that one right. I remember it was like
there's like an ogre race, and the humans apparently are not going to be playable, which is very strange.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my information on it too. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Something, Rise of... Okay. What? Oh, it says this is the name of it. Here's the real name of Dragon Quest X. Dragon Quest X, Rise of the Five Tribes Online.
Huh.
Interesting. Humans exist in the world, but only a few remain for some reason. So I guess that's some story element they're not saying. It's so cool. I'm looking at some magazine scans from a Famitsu, I guess it is. And you see all the different party members fighting this King Slime. And oh, that looks awesome.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
That's cool.
Day one. Oh, yeah, this looks great. Yeah, so
Wii U launch title? Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, if that's a Wii U launch title, Jesus Christ. That would be like the best launch of anything ever, and it can't be a Wii launch title. But then again, it's saying release 2012 on the Wii for Dragon Quest X. And
maybe it's going to release on the Wii first, and then later for the Wii U.
It's exactly what they're going to do, because everybody's going to like it and say, "Oh, I want that more enhanced version, graphic wise," which I definitely will want. But when's the Wii U supposed to be out?
Probably holiday next year, I'd assume. Sometime
December
around.
next year? Yeah. Interesting. God damn it.
Just a guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. But something to look forward to, everybody. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Who else has been playing games?
I've been playing a little bit of everything. Actually, as we're doing the podcast, I'm sitting here right now playing Kid Dracula on the Famicom.
Oh, yeah.
I've been trying to get through that. That game is impossible. But as far as current gen stuff and being on a Famicom kick, I've been playing a lot of Japanese games lately. But as far as modern stuff, I did pop in. I picked up this game a little while back, and it just kind of sat on my shelf, and I hadn't really gotten time to sit down and play it until today. And that was Knight's Contract.
Yeah. How is that game? That kind of came out of nowhere, and no one talked about it at all. I heard it's not that good.
I hate to say one thing or the other, because if I say, the thing is I like it. But I knew what I was getting into when I picked it up. The guy who recommended it to me because he said, hey, this is definitely a game that's worth playing if you like those kind of, the Dreamcast era hack and slash games like Sword of the Berserk or Soul Fighter and stuff like that. It's kind of a throwback. But it's really cool. I like how it works, since you're essentially, controlling two characters. You've got, like the big knight guy and then the witch that goes with her, and you actually control her magic abilities and his attacking at the same time.
Now, just to interrupt you, but that's actually been a pet peeve of mine, believe it or not. And Johnny, I think you're the same way. I've never really been a big fan of games that like have you switching between characters. Like a good example is Ys 7. Like Johnny and I both didn't really care for it because of that
There's a
aspect.
lot of examples, actually.
Oh, no. Well, I'll clarify that then. You actually don't switch between anything. You're only playing as the knight. She has her own AI that follows behind you.
Right.
But
yeah. Now I remember.
You
that.
actually to have her cast spells. Like, say you're fighting something, right, and you need her to cast spells on it so that you can kind of combo it into something else. You would hit like one of the trigger buttons and then one of the face buttons to cast whatever spell you want. So then she'll cast it. So you're not really controlling her per se, but just her abilities. Yeah.
Right.
But
She's like an extension of your character then. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's a cool game though. It's worth giving a shot. I wouldn't say, go out and spend $60 on it, but if you want something that's kind of a throwback to, like PS2 or Dreamcast era kind of silly Japanese, overly Japanese hack and slash games, it's a good one. I've enjoyed it so far. I think I'm already about halfway through it, so I'm guessing it's pretty short. But I do like that it's also broken up into smaller stages, kind of like Lords of Shadow was. So you don't always feel like this immense amount of pressure to just keep going until you find a save point. The stages are kind of small and compact. You can kind of get a couple of them done, save, and then play something else, which I really do like, and I wish more games would do that nowadays. But it's a cool game. And aside from that, I still have a couple that I haven't even popped in yet. I still have Yakuza 4 sitting on my shelf. that I have yet to pop in, just because I know when I do, it's going to be, days on end until it gets finished. But that's about it for modern games. Just I popped that in. I've been still playing Shadows of the Damned on and off, which is an awesome game. What else?
I've been meaning to pick that up. It's getting cheaper. It's $40 now. Prices reduced.
Yeah, and it's worth every penny too. I didn't mind paying $60 for it. It was excellent. I honestly got it. I didn't even really know what the game was about. I saw Akira Yamaoka's name on the back, and I bought it right there. I was like, oh, that's enough for me, because I'm just such a huge Silent Hill fan. So, and a fan of his musical stuff. So that was enough for me. And then, to my surprise, it was an excellent game too. So it's a lot like Resident Evil 4, just a lot faster. But definitely a cool game.
Well, speaking of the Dreamcast.
What?
Speaking of the Dreamcast.
Oh, yeah.
It had a birthday.
Anniversary.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention a couple of things there. Yeah, it definitely had a birthday. And gosh, what a great console. I went back and I decided to do a live stream. I picked some of my classic games, some of my favorite Dreamcast games, and I had a stack of about 20 of them. And I'm like, man, I can't play
marathon.
And that's just what I did. So I promoted it on my Facebook page, and I got some food, I got some drinks.
You know what? That's why I hate my Facebook, because I miss shit like that. Like having so many friends, I miss posts like that. And it's unfortunate, because I didn't even know you were doing this, Jason.
Oh, really?
What night did you do it on? I guess the Dreamcast birthday, I guess?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was. It was the night of, and I sat down and I had about 15 that were a must plays for me. So I broke the list down from 20 to 15. And I just had a marathon. I had a real active chat room. A lot of people in there really enjoying themselves, watching all these games. And I busted out the Dreamcast keyboard and mouse. And I played some first-person shooters for people. I played some awesome racers. I played some shoot-'em-ups. I played all kinds of... I played some hack and slash. I played some really great games. And so I just wanted to mention that, happy birthday to the Dreamcast. And of course, my video is archived on my page if you guys wanted to check that out still. It's like 3 hours long. I just had a great time. Twitch.tv/the EMU review is where you can find where I do my video game streaming. So it was a good time. So happy birthday, Dreamcast. Woohoo.
Yeah.
So just out of curiosity, since it was the Dreamcast birthday just a little while ago, what would you guys say was your favorite game on the Dreamcast that you sunk the most time into?
Oh my God.
Well, if you want to say most time, that's without a doubt Power Stone 2 for me. But my most memorable game has to be Sonic Adventure.
What about you, Johnny?
Oh, it's easy. Fantasy Star Online. I think. Oh God, do you know what? I quoted it in the past because I actually remember. I counted up the times on each one of my VMUs. I think it was over 350, 400 hours.
Oh wow.
That's all of my characters. I was obsessed with that game. I mean, obsessed. It was the first online game I ever played, and it kind of was. I always go on about how Phantasy Star changed my life. Blah blah blah. It was such an amazing game at the time. But
isn't it funny how your first online game is always so impactful?
Yeah,
because my first one was my first proper online game was Diablo 2 or StarCraft 1. I can't remember which came first, but they were super addicting when I got into those.
But the weird thing is my first the game that really made an impact for me was Phantasy Star 1, and then years later I'd been kind of trying to always chase that feeling for years, to get that feeling that the excitement, that wow factor, and I did get it here and there, but not the same way until I played Phantasy Star Online. And when I played that, I mean, the first time I entered the lobby and there was all my friends from a forum standing there, all waving at me, I was like, "This is fucking incredible."
Shit, if I would have played that back in the day, I could just tell you now, just based on my experience today, that I would have been fucking addicted. I would have been one of those thousands of hours players, because that would have been my first online game, and I would have been just blown away.
I was it's funny. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I got into the hacking side of it. After a while, PSO became so hacked that you had to become a hacker. And how I mean is that to protect yourself. So, because you had people breaking into your password protected games, okay, and stealing your fucking items. It was insanity. So either you were one of the sheep, or you fought back, and I absolutely fought back. So I'd love it. I'd be sitting there down there and the force level with my friends, all of a sudden somebody break in and go, "Hey guys," and like, "Ah, yeah," and I'd say to them, "Hey, come down to the planet." So they fucking come down to the planet, and they go and they kill my 2 friends. Okay, and then they come out to me and they'd be hacking me, and I'm like, "Is that all you got? Is that all you got?" I said, "Hit me one more time." Boom, kicked him out. Like totally, like kicked him out of the game. Done. Yeah, I had every single hack, every single shit, and I never ever used it against other players. But I used it to defend me and my friends. Damn right I did. I felt kind of like we actually had an online clan. We called ourselves the Strikers, and we would try to do right wrongs and shit like that. It was hilarious. So if somebody stole something of somebody, I would hunt for them through the servers until
You're
I
like
found
a bounty
them.
hunter.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I had so much fun doing so many types of things, and what I started doing is hacking my weapons to actually give them names. So if anybody stole my weapons or anything, they'd see my name was attached to it. It was pretty cool. Yeah,
So Jason,
I had a lot of fun.
what would yours be?
Well, the Dreamcast for me, the Dreamcast was different to me than it was a lot of my friends around that time. A lot of my friends were playing games like Phantasy Star Online, and I didn't play it at all. I got the console for all of its amazing arcade ports. At the time, these games were being released in the arcades, and really similar hardware was being used on the Dreamcast. So and so I would play tons of racers. I mean, who would have guessed? Great racers like Daytona USA, Rush 2049, Hydro Thunder. The list goes on. Off-Road Thunder. There's a whole bunch of really great arcade ports that are damn near perfect for this console. But also, you cannot miss all of the light gun games. This machine, I mean, I played light gun games prior, for Genesis and Super NES and stuff like that. And then, more on the PS1, I played lots, Time Crisis and all that sort of thing when that came out. But I have the most light gun games for the Dreamcast. Death Crimson, Confidential Mission, House of the Dead, Virtua Cop. We cannot forget all these amazing light gun shooters that are arcade perfect for this console. So as long as you got an old school CRT, standard def TV, and you can get a whole host of different light gun games. You can even import some of these crazy, really small, really comfortable pistols that they made for the Dreamcast, and which I have done. And man, fantastic. So arcade port, racers, great shoot 'em ups too. I can't miss that. But also light gun games. So there's a whole host that I would recommend right there for that console.
Now you guys are gonna laugh at me when I tell you what my favorite one was. Absolutely, because actually, you know what? Hey,
I really like that game.
I know, me too.
You have
which game?
The pole.
Bass fishing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sega Bass Fishing, and did you ever play the sequel, Sega Marine Fishing?
No, I never played the sequel.
That one's also on the Dreamcast. It's really good. But no, my favorite Dreamcast game, the one that I was absolutely sucked into like crazy, aside from PSO, was Seaman.
Oh, I love that game.
Oh, yeah.
I finished that game.
Yeah,
I still have yet
blew
to
my
play that
mind when
game.
it came out. It blew me away. Like I would just leave it on all the time and try different things, like recording music into the mic and like seeing what it would remember and whatever. And I remember raising that thing to completion and releasing it. I think it was in the course of like 2 weeks, but it was on nonstop. It was absolutely hilarious. And my mom used to tell, she always kind of picks on me about that whenever that game gets brought up, because this is back when I used to live at home, and she would be like, yeah, I would walk by, his room or whatever, and I'd hear him just talking to somebody, and I had no idea who the hell he was talking to.
No, you say that because my mom was staying with me at the time when she was looking for a job in town. And it was so funny that she said she's got the same thing about seaman. She's like, oh, that weird fish that would talk to you.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And I remember at the end of the game, he kind of has a heart-to-heart with you. Remember that?
Yeah. Right when he turns into the frog, and he kind of sits there and talks to you for a bit. And it's funny because you spent so much time like investing into like raising it or whatever that it's kind of emotional when you have to let him go. I was kind of bummed out about it.
He gave me some amazing advice before he took off.
How long did it take from the completion to have him grow up? How long did it take? 2 weeks?
It took me about that long, yeah. But I kind of drew it out, and I have to say, like, I wasn't that lucky when I first started. Like the first couple of days, I kept accidentally killing it, so I had to keep restarting over and over again until I kind of got the hang of what I was supposed to do.
It's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, the game was just absolutely amazing. And then, of course, like what Jason said, I mean, Daytona USA for me is one of my favorite games of all time, aside from racers or whatever. And the Dreamcast port was finally like, I did a review of it, but the Dreamcast port was actually like, it felt really good when that came out because it was kind of like, you know, the Saturn port was okay. It was still fun, but I always felt like the home market kind of got shafted when it came to Daytona.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah, so it was like finally we get like a real version of Daytona. So that felt really great.
Which it completely is, and they went above and beyond for that port to give you a whole bunch of extras, customization, ample tracks, you know, and all the classic music. It just sounds amazing. I mean, that is the port to have. The
tracks from Circuit Edition too, which I thought was nuts.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, granted, yes, the Saturn port, the Championship Edition was online. It did have that perk going for it. But I think the Dreamcast port really showcases what Daytona should have always have been on a console.
Yeah, it nailed it really, and I was just thrilled when that came out. And then of course, like you said, too, the Lycon games. I can't even remember how many hours I put into like House of the Dead 2 and the other Lycon games or the other action games, you know, like Zombie Revenge and stuff like that. I'll never forget those. Yeah, it was an awesome system. How many of you guys were actually in the line for the Dreamcast launch?
I went to Walmart midnight.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I got it the night of. I wasn't in line, but I was able to get it.
Oh man, I had to wait in line for it was probably about 2-3 hours.
Wow.
There was a mall near us that we had 2 game stores in it, and the funny thing was, it was before there was GameStop, so it was like an electronics boutique and a Babbage's, and it was in this mall here in Raleigh. And they, the funny thing about the 2 stores was they were across the hall from each other, right? And they had these really kind of like, it was funny, like people didn't shop at one, they shopped at the other, and they were very like, there's a weird allegiance to each store for some reason. And when they did the Dreamcast launch, both stores did it at midnight. And the lines, it was really funny. The lines went like out the door through the food court and like outside of the mall. But there were 2 separate lines, one for each store. And it was funny because like, all the people from like the EB line were like talking shit to the people in the other line and vice versa. And like, oh, I'm going to get my system first and blah, 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 blah. And like, you know, yeah, you guys are idiots for waiting in their line. And yeah, it was funny though. And it was definitely one of the cooler midnight events I've ever been to. But I don't know if you guys remember, at least here when it came out, do you guys remember that like first couple weeks where they had that huge batch of games that didn't work?
Yes. I remember Sonic Adventure was one of them, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I took home, the night I got my Dreamcast, I took home Mortal Kombat Gold and Hydro Thunder. And I got home and neither one worked. Oh, I was so pissed off. And then I couldn't go back because, you know, they were already closed. Oh. So I had to wait till the next day and go back. But by then, all the games were sold out. So I couldn't do anything with them until they got another shipment. So yeah, I took it home and couldn't even play it for a few days. So I was pretty bummed about that. But yeah, it was a nightmare.
Wow. Well, I go over some of my fondest memories of the Dreamcast games. I'm kind of with Jason on the arcade ports. I mean, Crazy Taxi.
Oh God,
yeah, it was one of my favorite games. I put up many hours into that game. House of the Dead was classic shooters. I also was a big fan. None of us really brought it up yet, but the sports titles on the Dreamcast were the 2K, NFL 2K, NHL 2K, the NBA 2K. I really enjoyed those games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the Sega sports were fantastic, and I really like the football game where you can actually choose your play. If you're playing multiplayer, you can choose your plays on the VMU, which is really neat, kind of a unique thing that you can do. Where they couldn't see what play you were picking. So, big fan of the Dreamcast, but definitely those are my choices.
Yeah, I remember when it launched, it was sold out everywhere. There were lines everywhere. You couldn't even, if you weren't lining up, you know, prior, you weren't getting one. But I know, John, you were in Washington, I know, at the time. So
yeah,
they have Kmart's up there, I know, right? They have Kmart. Mm-hmm. And there was a Kmart by my house, and I would do this all the time. Nobody went to Kmart. Nobody. They had no idea. Yeah, they had an electronics department. I walked right in there. They had like 10 of them there. Just walked right in and got one. No one even. I mean, Target was sold out. You know, all those other places were just sold out, and it was hilarious how you could walk in and just pick it right off the shelf there. And I picked up what did I get? I got Hydro Thunder, House of the Dead 2, And let's see, I think I got Tokyo Extreme Racer.
Oh, another great one is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
Yeah, I love that game.
Mhm.
That's a great game. Yeah, really, really great.
How about the Star Wars Demolition Racer?
Oh, Jason,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that game.
Yeah,
That was
know
actually
what?
one of my earlier
I
Dreamcast.
own it. I've never played it. Can
Oh,
you
you
believe
got
it?
you got to play it. It's like now I'm not sure how the gameplay holds up. I haven't played it in a while, but it's fucking twisted Star Wars. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Oh my god, why haven't I played it? Just
I
too
think
many
you would
games.
Yeah,
There was also a Power Star Wars.
Jedi Power Battles.
Power
It's sort of
Battles,
like
yeah.
that beat 'em up game. I love that game too. Actually,
Yeah.
you got terrible reviews, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Did anybody mention Choo Choo Rocket?
Mm-mm.
I played that on a demo.
Dreamcast?
Yeah, I played it on
That
a
was an
demo.
awesome game.
I never bought that game actually.
You in a windstorm over there?
Who, me?
Yeah.
He's having a
No,
smoke
no.
again.
No, actually I'm not. I just had to go into the kitchen to grab something real quick. So you shouldn't be hearing anything right now.
Do we have any audio questions? Do we want to answer real quick?
Maybe we should call a night. It's been like 2 hours, nearly 3 hours.
It has been 2 hours. Yeah, that's
We can
cool.
catch up next
Well, great episode. We talked a lot about games and a lot about
everything.
porn and
Well, I hope
hentai and-
so. I hope we
Yeah.
talked about games. Jesus.
I hope
I'm
so
glad
too.
we got to. I'm definitely glad we got to recover the rape game thing.
Me too. That was
Now
not.
I'm even more
away.
interested. I didn't know it was an actual porno.
Yeah.
I just thought it was some like just cheesy cartoon boob shots. I mean, this is the real deal here. I'm on eBay.
Classic.
Good.
Well, Bracey, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure, guys. Definitely.
Big
It's
fan of
been a
your show.
pleasure. Thanks so much.
Everyone go over, show some love, support, subscribe to him.
Retro Snow.
It's pretty funny that both times we have you on, we go over 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems that way. This was actually a longer show than the last week's.
Went by
I mean,
quick.
last week's was what, maybe 2 hours or so, and this one,
It was
yeah,
2.5
almost
hours.
three.
Two and a
So I
half,
think, yeah.
And I'm not even going to edit this. I'm just throwing it up.
Throw it up.
Yep.
Yep.
So right on, guys. Well, Jason, appreciate you recording it, man.
Yeah,
Make sure
absolutely. Yeah, no problem.
Oh
Thanks
shit! It
for-
didn't record.
Thank God. You know what? That is one thing, you guys, I will never joke about. I will never joke about that.
Yeah.
But see, now that you just said that, it would be really funny if you did.
I know,
Oh.
but I take it very seriously, and if
I'm scared to
these guys will know, definitely. You guys feel free, joke about all you want, but it don't matter. But me-
we're making light out of a
Yeah.
situation that sucks, and we felt really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you. Like,
I just want to throw out there real fast, because I mentioned the last episode as well. Pokemon online trading card game. Do it. PokemonTCG.com. Fucking
Don't tell me what to
amazing.
do, and don't
It's
tell me what
amazing.
to do.
I've spent over $100 on virtual cards.
Oh,
You're not the boss of me, Pete.
It's awesome. My fucking
Awesome.
my victory bell or weeping bell, whatever the fuck the third form is, rapes kids. All right, that's all I gotta say.
That's a great way to end it.
Yeah,
and
for
that's
sure.
gotta end now.
Hey, Jason. Jason, all right, see ya. Jason, real quick, man. Real quick, Jason, are you hitting up the AZ Collectors Marketplace this weekend?
Yeah, I'd love to go. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. I'll hit you up.
Yeah, all right.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I already left.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.